Hello, hello everyone. Um, Back again for another classic live stream. I am International Passport. Welcome everyone to a great stream ahead. I know it's going to be great because we have the legendary Tony Berry in the house. Before I get Tony to introduce himself, I want to say a huge thank you to my old subscribers for your support over the years and my new subscribers for joining the International Passport movement, where I encourage brothers to get their passports to meet foreign women, live a good life, invest in stocks, invest in crypto, get wealth, and become rich. So, welcome, brothers. I want to say please hit the like button. Please support this channel by any means possible by commenting on all my videos, super chatting, cash apping, liking, and so on and so forth. Mr. Tony Berry, how are you, brother?
I'm good, brothers. Brothers, thank you, man. I'm very well. And IP, I loved your last stream you did, brother, on yourself. That's real men do stuff like that, brother. Real men do that kind of stuff. And I think that just launched you into the next level, brother. So I just wanted to give you a
Oh,
shout out on that.
oh, thank you very much, Tony. I appreciate the kind words, Tony. Thank you. It means a lot coming from a legend like you. Thank you, Tony. Tony, can you please introduce yourself before we get into the topic of the live stream?
Yes. So I'm Tony Berry. I'm what they call a full stack developer. So you could call me a software engineer in the IT world. I've been doing this for the last 11 years. Prior to IT, man, I was in the sales. I was a mortgage consultant. I was a finance manager in the car business. I was selling cars because I was basically doing the hustle. And before that, I was doing some jobs in Saudi Arabia, teaching English in Japan, and I was in the Air Force before all of that. So I have a strong sales background, strong technical background, and that's where I also have a group on Facebook called Financial Black. So I talk about finances all year. I've been doing that for a year now, trying to educate brothers. It's only for black people, but I've been trying to educate brothers on finances ever since. So that's what I'm about.
Oh, thank you for that great intro, Tony Berry. Shout out to Ronald Taylor for the first super chat of the evening. Thank you, brother. $199. He says, big up Tony and big up and IP. Big up to you too, Ronald Taylor. Thank you so much for your super chat. Tony, I am very excited for this live stream. I know you're doing well in life, and I love seeing brothers do well, live a great life, and it shows you're doing well because I think you're almost 60, but you look like you're 39. So it's
That's
crazy
right, brother.
how,
That's right. The man share brothers. That's right. Keeping in shape. Got to stay in shape.
and he
Yep.
goes to the gym as well. That's what we're talking about.
Yep.
Tony, so this stream is going to be about finance. Can you please break down what you will be discussing and we can go into the stream right away, brother?
Yes. So, brothers, this is about finance, and as you see, the title is about getting that passport to financial security. So, I'm going to talk about 22 different points tonight, brothers. Y'all going to want to play this thing over and over again to get some pointers. You're going to want to take notes. Trust me, This is going to help you out tremendously. So, just to touch on the points I'm going to talk about, and then I'll go into one of them. The first one I'm going to be talking about is female financing for simps. It's going to be learning the wrong way. I'm just going over the topics I'm hitting on the male evolution in America, mainly the black male, managing your health, how to get there. Okay, so look at the numbers. You know, I'm all about the numbers. Set an obtainable goal. Obtainable goal. You have to set that goal. Create a plan to reach that goal. Let's see. By the time you start, you should be building wealth. By the time you start looking for and choosing a spouse, you should be building wealth already. Next one I'm gonna be touching point on is show your worth in silence. Use your time wisely, brothers. A lot of us are wasting a lot of time. You got to use your time wisely. All right. Next thing I'll talk about is seek out a highly sought after female. Uh, Use the engagement time. I'm talking about how to use your engagement time. Practice financial discipline. Get off that 50, what I call the 50-50 plan. You're going to laugh at that when I tell you what that means. You want to build sources of unearned income, as many sources of unearned income as you can get. You always want to check the numbers no matter what. You always want to manage your assets. You always want to create a new goal. When you reach a goal, create and build a financial template that's going to last you throughout anything that pops up. You want to retire as early as possible, brothers. And finally, I'm going to talk about how you can set your children up for financial security. This, to me, brothers, I've been looking forward to doing this for 2 weeks, for for over a year, really. And I just want to, I'm not here to teach you brothers anything that you may not already know, but I'm here to discuss something that you may have forgotten, or maybe you just never thought about. So, because I'm always learning from brothers all the time. I'm always learning from you. But tonight, I'm on the show. I'm gonna talk to you about what I know.
Thank you very much, Tony. Great introduction. I'm looking forward to listening to every single thing that you will speak about. So, Tony, please carry on to speak about your first point, Tony.
Okay, so guys, so the first one I'm gonna talk about, I'm gonna introduce myself about, well, I already told you what I do. So the first thing is female finance, and I got notes here. Female financing for simps. Okay, 75% of the black males in America were raised by one parent, a woman-run home. All right. So what that means is that 75% of us were raised to spend money on females. These females never taught us how to manage finances for men, for ourselves. We've been learning how to do finances for women. We've been learning female finances for simp. So the average male, like myself, I stayed with my mom for 17 years. I lived with my dad the last 6 months, before I went in the Air Force. So I have a 17-year degree in financial, or I had, because I since dumped it. I had a 17-year degree in female financing for simps. 75% of the black males have that degree. I don't know what percentage of black males in the UK get raised by single parent homes, but I'm sure it's probably somewhere around anywhere between 50 to 60%, compared to the 75% in the States. But
yeah.
So okay, so thanks IP for confirming the numbers on that. So, but what I'm getting at is this, brothers. I'm gonna give you some examples of what I mean by female financing for simps. What that means is that you're so accustomed to not caring about yourself. Your mom, your sister, your aunties are always saying, "Hey, take that girl out, show her a good time. Go ahead and buy that for her." If they see you when you get to be teenage years and you happen to be buying you a nice pair of sneaks or some jeans, that say you buy your sneaks for like $100, you buy some jeans for $50, they're gonna look at you and say, "Why didn't you get your sister something? Why didn't you get your sister the jeans for $120? Why didn't you get your sister our shoes for like $60? Why do you just think about yourself? Why are you always thinking about yourself?" They put that shame on you, and they always make you feel ashamed because you seem like you're only spending money on yourself. But what's missing here, brothers? What is missing is male financing. They never show us how we need to spend money on ourselves. That's why you see a lot of black males that do come into some money once in a while. And what they do, the ones that blow it, they blow it all on females. I'm a classic example. I give you an example of me, brothers. You know me. I'm Tony Berry. I'm not blowing smoke up nobody's ass here. I'm going to tell you straight up what's going on. Here's what happened with me. I had a condominium in Hawaii that I bought for $120,000 in 2005 when the market was low, right? So what I did was I bought this condo for $120,000. I turned around and sold it for $300,000 when I moved back to Seattle. I had almost $200,000 in funds. I turned around, I put 20% on a new condo in Seattle. I put $10,000, which I should have never did, on a lease for a Porsche Boxster S, which I had to get the top Porsche Boxster, right? And I think I put like $30,000, $40,000 set aside for investment in the bank, which I later had to pull out because of my spending habits. The rest of the money I blew on females. Yes. And the reason why I did that, even though I was a 43-year-old male and I should have known better, is because I've never experienced having that kind of money. So normally what will happen is when you run into a large pool of funds or something that's totally different that you have not experienced in your life growing up and coming up, you're going to always resort back to what you learned in your childhood or what you went through in your childhood. And what I'm saying is this. That is why I blew the money. That's why a lot of men blow money up before they learn, because all we learned how to do was spend our money on females that ain't worth a damn. That is what happened with me. Okay. So to avoid that, you need to understand that's what's happened. That's what happened with these men out there playing these pro sports. They got all this money, but they don't know what to do with it because they never think about spending money on themselves or male financing. How do I manage these funds to strengthen my position in the world? Because they've been raised by women and only women, and they've been on that female financing for simps program. All right. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is learning. This point is called learning the wrong way. Okay. Overspending on women. All right. And underspending on yourself. All right. I'm going to use my son as an example to help you understand how you can get out of that. Okay. Because all of us know, like I said, we've been taught that female finance for simps, financial female for simps, right? What am I calling it? Female finance for simps. We've been taught to spend money on females, spend money on them. Worry about their finances, never ours, right? Well, here's how you can get out of that. My son and I, every year, we go to the wetlands around the corner. I have a wetlands right across the street from my house. I bought this property because I didn't want nobody in front of me. We go around the corner, and we're the only ones so far to pick these plums. These plums are rare. They're from France, and they're little yellow plums. Are really sweet when they're ripe, right? Every July, we go there. We pick them off this one tree that when they're ripe, almost turning yellow, okay? Now, one day, we was picking them. We had our bucket. I had my little stick. I was knocking down the ones from the above. They were falling on the grass. If they fell on the ground and broke, I say, hey, son, don't pick those up. They're crushed. Leave them alone. So you see this pretty girl driving by on her bike. She must have been about my son's age, 8 or 9 years old. And she looked at us, but she didn't come over. But you can see the look on her face like, oh, maybe I think I can go over there and ask them for some. I used that opportunity to tell my son this. Here I am putting stuff in the bucket. We had almost a full bucket of this. And I said, let me tell you something, son. When you come out here at 12 years old and you start picking these by yourself, and a female walk up to you and thinking she's cute and going to ask you for some, what you do is you point to the ground and say, there they go. Get on the ground and pick them up. You don't give her nothing out of your bucket. She did not work for that. With what you got, you work for that. If she wants something, she has to work for her own. If she want to pick them, she got to go all the way to her house, get her bucket, get her equipment to pick them. You don't give her one piece of fruit out of your bucket. That's what I told him. That is the start, brothers. That's how you have to tell them that to start. That's how you have to tell them, your young boys. You start them off young. Because the females do. From the time a female is 2 years old, she know that a man's supposed to spend money on her. That's the way she raised. So teach your boys. No, that ain't going to happen. You ain't spending money on no female just because she look cute. If you spending money on a female, you spending money on a female for a service. And that is something that they will need to know when they get older. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the male evolution, brothers. The male evolution in America. And this is mainly honing in on the black male. The black male, brothers. And let me tell you, like I said before, 75% of black males in America were raised by single moms. Or I like to call it one parent home run by a woman. Because they ain't single because they got kids. All right? 25% of us wasn't. Now, here's the thing. I'm not saying that the 25% that are raised by two parents won't make any mistakes and didn't make mistakes and that their parents didn't make mistakes. Because keep in mind, this wealth bucket is not for the black person in the United States. Black people have not really been able to obtain wealth on an equal level here. And I'm going to give you a little bit of history on that. I don't know if it's like that in the UK, but before World War II in the United States, you know, everybody had the Depression, right? Most people were either rich. People were either rich or working poor, and black people were just hustling for jobs. So we made that big migration from the South. My second great grandfather was a gardener in Philadelphia, making $500 a year, working 24 weeks out the year, making $500. That is $9,000 in today's dollars. That means that he was living in poverty. When he passed away in 1970, he didn't even have a headstone. His wife died in 52. He couldn't even afford to get a headstone for her either. And she wasn't getting paid at all. Although she was working 50 hours a week, she was working on the barter system. She was cleaning white women's toilets, and they were giving her food. Like, oh, here's a chicken. Here's a big chicken for you to take it home. Here's a bag of vegetables. Go ahead and take it home. That was her pay. And you know what that means? That means neither one of them was building up any wealth, and they didn't participate in the Social Security like a lot of us are today. So therefore, when they got older, they had nothing. Okay? So just because the brother's coming from that type of family doesn't necessarily mean that they struck it rich or that they're in a good set. But 75% of us were raised by a woman in a single parent home. Now, here's the thing with that. So so as we evolve, you're a young man, you're growing up, you're hearing stuff from your auntie, your sister, your mama, and then your potential or wannabe girlfriends and middle school, right? They all telling you, buy me, buy me, buy me, buy me this, give me that, do for me this, do for me that. Ain't one of them, not one of them are telling you as a man, hey, you should do something for yourself. Not one of them are telling you to do something for yourself. Not one of them are telling you to think about yourself. They're all take. So as you start getting older, then you come into a neighborhood where you're like a young teen, you're going through puberty, you see some woman start to grow some bumps on her chest, some little girl, and you thinking you hitting it, you thinking, yeah, you are good. Not using it, hopefully you never get her pregnant, but you might get stuck and get that woman pregnant. Now you stuck. But if you get past that, you're playing sports. Now here's the thing. A lot of brothers think that they're going to be professional football players and baseball stars and all this other stuff because the female, the mom, and the aunties, who are all single, by the way, with no man and different kids from different baby daddies. Oh, you big, you strong. You should get out there and play football, son. Make money for us. See, they want to use the man for their means. They're never thinking about how he can be used for himself. It's always do something for me, do something for me, do something for me. So these women, for the first 17 years of your life, all you see are women around you with their hands out. That's all you see, telling you what they want to do for them. Ain't nobody thinking about you. Then you roll, hopefully you'll roll into 18. You might go to college, you might go to a trade school, you might get a job. Now you're on the dating scene. But what happened? You spend a lot of your time, a lot of your money out that you don't get on women. A lot of your time. And let me tell you something right now, brothers. Just because you spending money don't mean that you're not spending more money on time. I mean, you spending money literally cash-wise, but your time is valuable too. So if you fresh out of high school or you out of college and you're making $20 an hour and you spending 4 hours on a date with a female and you ain't getting nothing, whether you get something or not, you already spent $80 on this female, plus meals, plus drink, plus taxi, plus gas for your car. You have to be careful of your time. So then you start to get along in your 20s. You think you found a woman. You start simping. Most brothers, I know IP was up there the other night about he was a simp. I was a simp when I was younger too. Most brothers are taught to be simps from the beginning. So you simp, you get in that relationship with that woman. But what happened? You find yourself chasing her around. And what happens when you chase? You spending money that you don't need to spend. You spending money, you wasting money, chasing her. And like IP was telling us the other day, a woman said she had 5 dudes that was after her. So you trying to compete with other guys. Now this woman sitting up there with nice clothes on, nice shoes, and you wasn't the only one to pay for it. So there was a combination of people giving her money to get her to look that way. So you go through that process. Then you're going to get married to a woman like that, and if you do, you're going to be chasing this woman around for the rest of your life. And what that ends up at, brothers, by the time you're 35 years old, you got 3 kids, and this woman done told you she want to get a divorce. Because 80% of the plaintiffs in black divorces are women. 80% are women. And now you'll never reach wealth, you'll never reach financial stability, you'll never reach financial security ever, because you done wasted all your hard-earned time and money in this no good for nothing woman because of how you were raised. That is the reality, brothers. I'm hitting you right in your face. I'm telling you straight up, this is where we at. The next one, you have to do this, brothers. Another point you have to do. In order for you to understand this, the evolution of the black male. You have time when you're young. We live longer than people think. But you have to manage your health. Because once you get to the point where you figure everything out and you start building wealth, you're going to have to manage your wealth to be able to enjoy the fruits of your labor and the fruits of your mind and the fruits of your investments. You're going to have to be around for that. So that means if you see like our daddies, they smoking cigarettes and drinking till they fall to a stupor, that ain't going to help you out, brothers. That's not going to help you out. I've never smoked in my life. And the only time I've ever gotten drunk was when I was 19 years old. And after that, I was like, that ain't for me. I'll have some wine, I have some beer, but I never get drunk, brothers. Never. My mind is always clear. Always clear. Another thing, now, I got another section here. I talked about these first points. And I'm going to go into how to get there, how to get to that wealth, how to build that passport to financial security. All right, brothers, look at the numbers. I thought I put them up in the chat. I'm going to put them up after this because I only have one screen open, but I got the links open. Look at the numbers. And what I mean by this is I'm going to put up two links. One is from blackdemographics.com. There is a chart, and it's real easy to read. You'll see it says African-American income, 1967 to 2018. Basically, it has these classes, and it shows the percentage, and it shows the dollar amount. You'll see under $15,000 a year is poverty and working poor. 15 to 25,000 is working class and working poor. 25 to 50,000 is working class. The middle class is broad. From $50,000 to $150,000 is considered middle class. And I want to say something about that. That doesn't work in every state. In my state of Washington State, which is a really expensive state to live, you'll need to be making more than 6 figures a year if you want to be successful here. Upper middle class is 150 to 200,000, which works pretty much anywhere. And 200,000 over is considered upper class. If you look at the numbers, 19% of Black people in this country in 2018 numbers were poverty and working poor. 13% were working class and working poor. 25% were working class. 36% were middle class, most of them being toward the bottom of the middle class. Only, check this out, brothers, only 4% of us are in the upper middle class. That makes between 150 and 200,000. I'm one of those. 200,000 and over, and Theo's another one that I heard of so far. 200, and Theo's in the 200,000 over, so he's considered upper class. I'm considered upper middle class. Now, so what I'm getting at is this. You need to know what class that you are in. You need to know that. I saw a woman get asked a question by Kevin Samuels the other night. He asked a Black woman who was a leasing agent in Philadelphia. And he said, how much you make? You know, this woman got up there and said, oh, I'd rather not talk about it, but I do well. I make enough. What does that mean? Brothers, what does that mean to make enough? When she didn't even look at the numbers. You don't know you make enough until you look at the numbers. Then you can start to plot a plan to get to where you want to get. And while I'm on the numbers, there's another link I put up. It's called from the U.S. Census. It has, from the New York Times, if you can see it, it has the characteristics of Asian groups in the United States. And the number one group, the average national, by the way, the national median household income in the United States is $63,900 something. The Indian Asian, and there's 4 million of them in the United States now, and they mostly work in the software industry, are making well over $123,000 a year per annum. Taiwanese is second with $97,000, Filipino at $95,000, and so on. Here's my secret. Here's the secret that I used when I was in sales. When I was in sales, guys, I had to take people's credit apps to get them approved for loans. And I would see those incomes on there. Now, when I got the Air Force, I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know what I had a college degree, but I didn't know what kind of job I was going to do. But you know what I did, guys? I didn't start making money until I started thinking like an immigrant in the United States. And I targeted a certain group to compete myself with. And that was the Indian from India, because I knew they were the highest earned incomers. And now I make more than them. So when somebody asks you, or asks if you hear somebody get asked, what do you make? And they say, I make enough. You don't know how much you make until you look at those numbers. And you need to see those numbers. So then you will see in reality where you fit on the totem pole. All right. So next thing I want to touch point on here is you always want to first, especially for the younger guys out here too, because just because you're 18 and 19 don't mean you can't get where you need to get. But what you need to do is you need to set an obtainable goal, however small. So if you're an 18-year-old kid, you fresh out of high school, you working at McDonald's even, and you making $6.50. So now I don't know what they pay, $6.50, $7 an hour. Then you set that goal. In 6 months, I'm going to be making $8. You start setting those goals, and I'm going to be this, and I'm going to be that. You set obtainable goals. What I hate seeing, brothers, more than anything, and I see this, I learned this a lot from people, especially in the Black community, when they ask somebody, Hey, man, what you want to make? Oh, man, I think I'm going to make $300,000 a year. I think I'm going to get $400,000. Not even knowing that only 2% of the black people make over $200,000 a year in this country. They don't have the realistic numbers. Only 9% of us make over six figures. They don't have the numbers, guys. They don't have the numbers. So what does that mean? That means if you're sitting on your face and you're talking about, oh, I'm going to make it $300,000 a year, it ain't that many people making that kind of money. That means you got to do a lot of work and planning to get to that point. That's what you got to do. And a job is not going to get you there. All right. So you want to set an obtainable goal. And another thing that I always do, and this is nothing against all my religious fellows. I'm not a Christian. So I haven't been a Christian since I was younger. I practice Buddhism, but that's another story. But here's what I'm getting at. The word that I always tell my son to take out of the dictionary is, because I always do it, when it applies to you, take the word hope out of there. The word hope is a misnomer, brothers. Hope don't mean nothing when it comes to what you can do. Like my son will say, oh, I hope I get a good grade in my school. Or I always tell him, no, you will get a good grade in your school. You will do that. The minute I dropped the word hope, that's when I got successful. I never said, oh, I hope I'm going to feed my family, or I hope I'm going to do this, or I hope I'm going to get me a house. No, I said I will get it. And another thing on that, don't want nothing. A want is just a request. You hear people say all the time, oh, I want to be rich. I want to do this. I want to do that. How many times do they actually get to what they say they want? 0. Don't want it. Choose it. Because when you choose something, everything is going to be put into place for you to get it. If you choose to live in a certain neighborhood, if you choose to do a certain career, you are going to put yourself in the position to where you're going to be doing it. Trust me, it works 100%. So take the word hope out. Now that you set an obtainable goal, you need to create a plan to reach the goal. And don't be afraid, brother. This is a big thing I want to tell you. Don't be afraid to fail. You know how many times I failed? I know IP said he failed a few times. Don't be afraid to fail. Failure is a learning experience. That's what it is. It's a learning experience. You have to look at it that way. You have too many brothers out here failing, and then they're just giving up. Oh man, I guess I'm not gonna be a good dad. If that is what you choose to do, you will fail until you get to that point. One no does not define your life. That's what you have to understand about that. The next point I want to touch on, guys. I'm sorry, I know I'm talking a lot, but I've been pumped up for this. I want to get this out to the brothers. You need to be building wealth by the time you start looking for and choosing a spouse. Now, IP's right. Get your passports, because these Western women ain't doing nothing for you. But while you're out there seeking and looking for your spouse, because brothers, keep in mind, it is a looking for spouse game. You are always looking for a spouse. Whether you think you are or not, you are always looking for a spouse. That is why a man and a woman comes together. Ain't no friend. You don't have any women friends. They're not your friend. The only reason why they're in your life is because either you want to screw them or they related to you. That's about it. Other than that, it don't matter. When you get out there and you start seeking that spouse and everything like that, make sure you are building wealth, because it's going to make things a lot easier on you. It's going to give you better choices. It's going to put you in a better position to obtain that perfect female that you're looking for. Another point I want to say is you need to show your wealth in silence. Okay, I can't stress that enough. This works really well in Japan. Show your wealth in silence. And I give you an example of this, brothers, because we like nice things. And trust me, there's nothing wrong with liking nice things. Okay, so here's what you do. You're overseas, you got your passport, you just got off at Narita Airport, you've been in country for a couple weeks, and you finally run into this nice 21-year-old female, probably about 5'3" or 4". She ain't weighing a day over 102 pounds. Everything is well proportioned. She is the dime, trust me. Body count, 0 to none. Speaking no English. You've learned how to speak a little Japanese. You're throwing a little translation out there. So you take her out. You're not going to take her on a date and sit up there and tell her what you do, how much money you make, how many houses you got, how many cars you got. No, that's not how it works, guys. The way you do it is this. You make sure when you're sitting in a restaurant or a cafe that you have a view of the outside, because you're going to create a conversation off of this. So what will happen is the woman is, she's going to be looking at you hard. Everything that you do, she's looking at you because you are her whole world. So you look at a couple of Audis, Mercedes Benzes, Porsches riding by, and she noticed you looking at the cars, and she says, "Oh, you like cars?" And you're like, "Yeah, I love cars. I love cars." "Oh, really? What kind of car you got?" I drive a Mercedes. I got a Mercedes Benz CLS 550. That's what I drive. Right? So now they like, okay, he drives a Mercedes. They might ask you a few questions about cars. Then you just totally get off the subject and you go back to talking about her. But guess what, brothers? Guess what she just did? Now, you need to understand this about women. Women, they used to call it a pocketbook back in my mom and dad's day. They call it a purse, a bag, Louis Vuitton, whatever the hell they want to carry. But a woman has two bags on her at all times. She got her physical bag that she carried, and she got that mental pocketbook, brothers. Yes, that mental pocketbook. They painting everything in their face. So now, when you get done with her on the date, guess what? In her mind, all she gonna know is, oh, damn, he's driving a Mercedes. Now, I'm not saying that she gonna go after you because of that. And it may be very low down the totem, down her totem pole, very deep in her head. But guess what? When it comes time for her to make that decision of whether she want to be with you or not, she gonna know a little bit about your wealth just by what came out of your mouth. And she's gonna be looking at your body. Oh, what kind of watch you wearing? You don't have to get an expensive Rolex, something like that. Just get something nice and clean that looks presentable, right? She's gonna look at, she's gonna notice the look. Oh, he got a nice little earring in his ear. Oh, he got this. Oh, I love his shoes. Trust me, they checking you out. Everything that they see is going in that mental pocketbook. That's what I mean by showing your wealth with silence. All right. So the next thing, and I don't know what's going on with my phone here. Here we go. So the next thing you want to do, the next point I'm making, brothers, is, I talked about this. And you know what, man? Y'all gonna know what I'm talking about when I mention this. Use your time wisely. And what I mean is this, brothers, time is money. Okay. Now I'm going to describe something here and to make you brothers understand, because I love my brothers and I know how to talk to my brothers. And you know me, like I said, I'm Tony Berry. I don't blow no smoke up nobody's ass. I'm telling you straight up what's going on. Here's what happened. So in 92, I got out the Air Force in Seattle in 92. I get up here, right? The dating scene was banging. White girls all over the place, because Washington State is like 90-something% white before, right? It ain't that way anymore, but it used to be. So the white girls are on the brothers hard. You had Vancouver girls coming down, jumping on brothers, Tacoma girls, Seattle girls, East Side girls, Eastern Washington girls, Western Washington, Native American, you name it, Japanese, they were all on the brothers, right? So these brothers was going out with these girls, and they were spending time. And you hear brothers talking, oh man, I hit that, I got this, I got that, right? And they had average jobs, right? So let's say that the average brother was making about $10 an hour back in 92, which wasn't bad coin, right? But check it out though. When you go out on a date with a woman, you got to manage your time, right? You got to know what you're worth. Every hour you spend with that woman, that's $10 that you spent. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, you might have spent $30 on meals, but how many hours did you spend with that woman on that date? So here's what I'm getting at. Fast forward to 2005 when I got back to Seattle. And I recognized some of these brothers too. I saw some of these brothers homeless in Pioneer Square in Seattle, Capitol Hill. I saw them. They were homeless. The same brothers that used to run the clubs were now homeless. You know why? Because they were spending way too much of their time and money on a chick. See, Chinese guys, they don't do that. Asian guys don't sit up there and spend all their money like that on a woman. If they want a woman that bad, they'll go pay for it. And I know that a lot of people don't agree with that. And they did get their business taken care of. And they back to focusing on investments, finances, education, getting their skill set. They ain't got time to sit there and waste time on a woman hoping they're going to get laid. And here's the thing that you need to know about the women that were dating these brothers. The white girls, they know when to shut it down. They'll shut this thing down about 25, 26 years old, and they will go find them a Henry. I'm not a Henry in that sense. Let me make another name. A Harry. A typical average good old white boy, and hook up with that white boy and they will marry him. You want to know why? Because white boys can't read body counts. They are poor at reading body counts. A woman can put on a red dress, throw some lipstick on a pig face, and walk up to a white boy and then dated brothers all for the first 5 years of her life on the streets and turn around and marry a redneck and walk around with a Trump flag all day like she never listened to hip hop or never slept with a brother. Harrys don't know how to read body counts. They don't know how to read women. They really don't. So the women know that. So they drop the brothers. They go off with the brothers. And they end up, white guy, raising 3 and 4 kids, living in a comfortable house. Meanwhile, the brothers that were spending all that money and time on them, they on the street. Nothing. That's what I mean by your time is valuable, brothers. The next point I want to make. You need to be, whenever you seek out a highly sought after wife, right? That's what you need to do. You need to be seeking out a highly sought after wife, not a woman with a high body count, brothers. Please, I can't stress this enough. You heard IP say the same thing. By high body count, anything over 2 is body count. And the reason why I use the number 2 is because the average would be like, okay, 1 or 2 year relationship with this dude. That didn't work out. Let me give it one more shot and see if I can meet another dude, get in the relationship going. And after twice, they pretty much like, okay, well, now what? And here you come rolling in. If you get the right woman, get her on the right time, that's a good woman. So you want the body count low. Preferably a virgin if you can get one. There's still a lot of virgins out there. But if you can't, 1 or 2, no more than 2. All right? Because here's the thing. If you get a woman with a high body count, right? So I wrote down here, check her creds and ask questions. Yes, you want her credentials and ask a lot of questions. Don't just sit there like Harry and look at her and say she's all cute and look at you. Oh my God, she's so beautiful. I can't believe it. No, you need to find out. Hey, so you're 26 years old, right? Yeah. Where you been from the time you was 21, 18 to 26? What's your life been like? You need to ask these kind of questions without feeling like you're intruding on her. You need to ask those questions. Now, we already discovered through recent streams up here that a lot of women in North America have high body, especially, unfortunately, in Canada. Yes, the women are nice, they're hot, but they got those high body counts too. So therefore, you yourself as a man need to see if that's what you want to do. I advise against it because women with high body counts are used to dating a lot of men. So therefore, they're used to getting something from men all the time. And they're not going to care about your financial plan when it comes to marrying them. That's what I mean by sticking to a woman with low body counts. The next point I want to make. Okay, so let's say you select that spouse to be. You got a good woman, low body count, come from a good family, overseas, you in the game. Okay, so now you're going to get engaged to this woman, right? Don't waste time on the engagement looking at pretty wedding dresses and all the other stuff. That's for her to do. What you need to do is use this engagement time to talk to her about financial management. See where her head's at. Get her on your financial plan and on your purpose. Let her know where you at in your wealth building. Let her know that that's where she needs to be. If she's the kind of woman that don't need to be on that plan, that engagement is cut off. Next, get you another one. There's nothing wrong with cutting off an engagement if that's not what they want to do. The engagement is not a time, and once again, I want to say this, brothers, engagement is not a time to be walking around looking at pretty dresses and having her show a ring off. That's not the time. Engagement is the time for you as a man to bring her onto your plan, your program, and your purpose, and make sure that that's what she's going to do and that she sticks to it before you really tie that knot. Next point I want to talk about. You always want to practice financial discipline. Now, here's the thing. I'm not saying don't enjoy yourself or don't, hang out and don't have a good time. But you just don't need to be spending money on yes. When I had this money, first time I got all that money, man, I was buying $800 shoes. I need to buy $800 shoes for one woman that don't give a damn about me for it. You have to maintain financial discipline. And what I mean is, for example, let's go on vacation. You this girl in Vancouver, or you want to take her to France or Italy or something, right? be the kind of guy to say, all right, go ahead and make the reservations. I don't care what. Hey, I like to stay in the nice hotels, but what kind of deal does the hotel have? What deal can they get? You need that woman to be on that page. You need that woman to be like, okay, baby, I want to stay at the Westin, but wait a minute. Let me see what kind of deal they got going. Let me see what's the best day of the week for us to stay there. Oh, baby, let's go on a Wednesday from Wednesday to Wednesday because to get a better number on Wednesday. See what I'm saying, guys? They need to be on that. That's what I mean by financial discipline. All right? Now, here's the thing, man. And I'm glad I'm getting through this pretty quick. I know I'm going to have a lot of questions on this. Get off that 50-50 plan, brothers. Okay, I mention this on my group all the time. What I mean by 50-50 plan. 50-50 plan is 50 hours a week for 50 years. The average person starts to enter the workforce at 18. The average person is going to work. It used to be 40 hours and 40, but as the rich get richer, the working people work more. They work longer. Now, you're 18 years old, you pretty much going to be working until you're 69 years old if you have not built any plan. That's what I mean by the 50-50 plan, brothers. For 50 hours a week, that means 40 hours on your job, 10 hours on average commute, right? That's 50 hours you have been taking your realm, 50 hours away from your comfort zone every week for 50 years, minus vacations that you may accumulate or sicknesses that may incur. So you want to get off that plan as fast as you can. That is a job is not the answer. And if you want to be one step up from a job, you don't need a job, you need a career. And a different career, I have a career, and I know Theo has a career in the IT world. All right. So a lot of us have. I want to stress the difference between a job and a career. Most jobs, you getting like 7, 8, or you getting like 20 hour, right? But as a career, you don't just get offered a salary, you get a package. When you go in there and you got the skills, because this is my last experience, the lady called me up and said, hey, after the interview, we're extending an offer. What is your offer? She goes ahead and give me all the numbers. I'm like, thank you. What are you? And then you out of your mouth is, by the way, what is this position budgeted for? You're just asking a question. What's the position budgeted for? They will either tell you that or they will ask you, well, what do you have in mind? You already know what you got in mind because you looked at Glassdoor or Indeed and you saw what your skill set is, your services are worth, and you hit them back with those services. And if you saw on Indeed that your services was 125, you hit them back and say, well, my services I'm looking at right now, based on my experience, I'm probably looking at about 158, 155 or something like that. Work the numbers. Always go above. Always ask for more because you just might get it. Most of the time you will. All right? It's a whole package. They hit you back with, you get 4 weeks worth of vacation. You get this medical coverage. You get that. You get that. A job is just paying you an hour, spanking you on your butt and sending you home. A career is, it's Friday afternoon. I'm on my computer working from home like I do. And it's 2 o'clock. And I'm like, you know what, guys? I'm going to go ahead and cut off early today. I got some stuff to take care of. And I'm still getting paid. That's a career, brothers. That's a career. All right? Now, another thing I want to talk about is you need to build as many sources of unearned income as you can. I cannot stress that enough. And here's a good example I'm going to give you. Inflation. And like I said, you know me, I'm always going to talk about the numbers. Inflation is, they're saying it's going to be about 4.8% this year, right? In America. And I'm sure it's going up in the UK, all over the world. But on average, the average person is only getting a 2% raise every year when they go see their boss, right? I got a 2% raise last year or this last performance, right? Because that was the highest they could give us. But you can best damn believe next time I'm going for my performance review, I'm going to be like, hey, 2% ain't enough. Of course, I'm going to do my research. I'm going to have me some other jobs lined up to get me started and some offers on the table. They hit me back at the 2%. I'm like, thank you very much. I really appreciate you. Thank you for having me here, but I'm going to go ahead and tender my resignation because that is not a raise to me. Because if inflation's up 4.8% and you're only getting 2%, you ain't getting no pay raise. You're 2.8% in the till. That ain't a pay raise. You do that 3-4 years in a row, you ain't making money. And another word of advice, guys, on careers. If you've been working at a place for more than 2 years without a substantial pay raise, you're losing money. Give yourself a pay raise, either by getting yourself another gig or investing in your stocks and your bonds and your portfolio to build that up. Because here's the thing, owning stock is a form of unearned income. You want to be a long-term investor. You want to get those dividends payouts, right? So they can start compounding. I started getting back in the market last year. My portfolio has grown tremendously. I'm actually getting money every month from dividends and I only got 10 positions, but I'm getting money every month from dividends. And what you do is some dividends, most stocks will pay you, or funds, whatever, will pay you every quarter. And then there's a few out there. I got 2 of them that will pay me every month. So what you do is you see what their payout schedule is. Some quarterly will pay you March. Some will pay you April. Some will pay you May. You get what I'm saying? And then the 3 months start again. You can set it up to where all your positions are paying you something every month. That's how you do it. And then what you do is your goal is to get it to where every time you reinvest it back in your portfolio, it's going to be buying you another share of that stock. I got positions right now buying me 8, 9 shares every month. And I ain't doing nothing and I'm making money. See, so that's one form of unearned income. There's so many different forms of unearned income. Another one, of course, is through real estate. If you happen to be in a situation where you have a lot of funds and you can afford it, get you another piece of property and rent that property out. That's unearned income, right? Use those renters to pay off that mortgage on that property, pay your house off. Now you got 2 properties that are paid off and you got equity in 2 properties. So that's another way that you can get unearned income. Another source of unearned income, your retirement fund. Now here's the thing. I just did this 2 months ago. I have a 401k. I've had it for the last 5 or 6 years. And I just switched my 401k over to a personal IRA. Now I got a few retirement accounts, and that's what I mean by personal income, right? I mean, unearned income. I got three retirement accounts. I got a Roth IRA. Excuse me. I got another. I got 2 Roth IRAs, actually, 2 Roth IRAs and an IRA. The good thing about the IRA is that you can manage your funds yourself. A 401k is a set package. They say it's like a store. Oh, this is the only products that we sell. You got to pick from those. But if you get your personal IRA, you can pick anything you want. And you can manage that thing. And don't be afraid when it goes down a little bit. Because keep in mind, the market has gone up 10% every year, no matter what, since 1820. So when you start to draw funds from your various accounts, the name of the game is don't draw no more than 4%. Because that means your portfolio is still making you money, right? So if you got 3 or 4 portfolios and your portfolios are like 400,000, 300, 200,000, whatever, and you pulling 4% from each one to make a living, you're still making money on the 6% going up. See, that's the way you have to look at it. So try to get as many unearned incomes as you can. That way you can slowly get off that 50-50 plan. That's the way to do it, guys. One more time, I want to say this. Always check the numbers. Like I said, I'm going to put those 2 links up here. That's going to show you the numbers. If you haven't already gone to blackdemographics.com, always check those numbers because you need to know where you sit on that scale. I get by, I make enough. That's BS. That does not mean anything to nobody. You have to always check those numbers. Always check those numbers. Oh, Sean said, is that for a 1-person family? I'm sorry, Sean. You can ask me that on the panel, brother. Another thing is this. Your net worth is more, and you ain't gonna believe this, but your net worth is more important than your income. Yes. You could be driving a UPS truck making $60,000 a year and be richer than somebody making $150 because of the investments that you made. It's not about your income. It's about your net worth. What I need you brothers to understand is you need to get off that I got to work to make money thought process. Get rid of that process. You need to start honing yourself on getting as far closer and closer to making unearned income as possible, as quick as possible. You need to limit that dependency on your work to provide a living for your family. Like for me, if my job came to me tomorrow and said, hey man, we're sorry, we're going to cut back. See ya. All right. And then I can hang around for a year or so and say, okay, well, let me see what I want to do. That's where you want to be. But that year or so, you want that to grow longer and longer and longer to where you're like, see ya, I'm gonna do something else and still make a living. Y'all seen it in the movies. You know how you see these white people in the movies, they go into Tuscany and all these places, falling in love. You never see them working. Why? Because they got all that unearned income coming in. They don't have to worry about it. They're just sitting up there, hey, I'm good to go. I'm living good. And see, that's what I mean about the income history, the history of income in this country. Blacks were left out of that middle class. You remember earlier I mentioned before World War II, you were either rich and most of you are just working poor. Well, when World War II hit, after World War II, the middle class grew, but not for black people. The middle class grew for whites, but not for blacks. We missed out on that. So fast forward 80 years later, you got whites handing money to their family, inheriting. Here's $100,000. The average is about $150,000 passed down. Oh, here you go. Now they're able to pay for school. They're able to use 20% to pay for a house. Black people ain't got nothing. Brothers, there's nothing out here helping us out. That's why we have to always be one step ahead of the game. We always have to do what we need to do to make that well. Another thing I want to touch base on, and I'm getting close to ending this here.
Take as much time as you want to take, Tony Berry. This is a classic. You are dropping pure game, bro. I'm telling you. And the point when you said that difference between a job and a career, that was powerful, because personally, I saw every job as a job, even though it's actually a career. So if you're like an accountant, I would have thought that's just a normal job. I want to get out of a job, but it's a career because it's in a good profession. If you work for a big company, they might offer you a pension. They might offer you some benefits, a 401k, whatever. And it's crazy when you actually put things into perspective, the difference between a job and a career. Like you definitely want to be in a career. You don't want to work in a job where you're working in McDonald's or fast food shops. That's a job right there. That's not a career. A career is actually where you are in a respectable profession. There's means for you to actually progress. So you can become a manager, a director, a CEO, or a regional director. And Tony, you're a genius. This is just crazy. But keep going, Tony. I don't want to kill your flow. Keep going, bro.
No, brother. Thanks you, man. Thanks for that input, brother. No, I can't wait for the panel to open up, man. I just got a few things. So I wanted to say this. Look, once you get it all said and done, you want to manage your assets. And see, a lot of people, like I said, net worth, they don't even know how to figure out their net worth. And it's simple math, brothers. Whatever you own, whatever you have value, like your home, your equity in your house, your cars after they're paid off, whatever, check the blue book on them. Whatever you basically take your assets, your positives minus your negatives that you got to pay out, your liabilities, and that is your net worth. And you should always be checking your net worth. Literally, you should check your net worth every month if you can. I know I do. I look at my home, my property value is going up every month, right? That's why you want to buy good. You want to buy in an area that is appreciated. You don't want to just squeeze into a house. If you got to just squeeze into a house, you can't afford it. You need to get something to where your property value is going up. Like I tell people this, and I'm not going to use that N-word, but I always tell my little sister who doesn't listen to me because she's a black woman, she ain't never listened to her brother. If you need to buy a house in the countryside where the property is always going to appreciate, where they won't have any freeways ripping through your neighborhood, because you want to be where you can see deer. Like I see deer and elk walking around my neighborhood, rabbits, wild animals running around. If you see those running around your neighborhood, you ain't got no ends in your house robbing you. That's the way I think about it. And that's what I told her, right? So manage your assets, know what your assets are. And the thing is this, be smart about your assets. Like what I did was, I love nice cars. We all like nice things, right? Some people might like nice books. Some people might like nice musical equipment. You don't need to get it new. I went out and bought my car certified pre-owned, which is damn near new. It only had a few thousand miles on it. That's what you do. I got all the amenities I wanted in this car. Because if I'd have bought it brand new, it would have cost me damn near 100 G's. And guess what? After you drive the car off the lot, the cars will depreciate about $5,000 to $10,000 right there. Well, guess what? That means you financed $5,000 or $10,000 that you didn't have to finance. That's just a waste. That adds to your payment. You $20 per $1,000 adds $20 to your payment. You see what I'm saying? Get that car 2 or 3 years later when the depreciation's already worn off of it, and they're bringing it back in off a lease return. They got to take care of those cars. Get them in. You're going to get all the stuff you want on it. And ain't nobody going to be asking you, oh, when did you buy your car? As always, remember, brothers, nobody cares how you made the playoffs. They just want to know that you made the playoffs. All right? Another thing I want to say here is always create a new goal whenever you reach a goal. And remember before I said you must set an obtainable goal. So when you get that goal reached, go on and make another one. Okay? The way you're going to do all this, brothers, in the end, the way you're going to do all this, well, I got a couple more points. You need to create and build a financial template. Yes. To where, oh, we got a pandemic. So what? We got a war. Okay. Oh, man, somebody just died in the family, or you might die in the family. Oh, okay. But your family's still good to go, right? Recessions. You want to make a template that is recession-proof, pandemic-proof, natural disaster-proof, unexpected death, and then also against wars. Because trust me, in America, the rich have done that. They are sheltered against everything. Let me give you an example, which I think is the dumbest thing in the world. And I'm not knocking people in the state, but I am knocking people in the state. In the state of Louisiana, they get hurricanes every single year. Katrina, Ida, Becky, you name it, they get it. They just got their butt kicked all the way up to the East Coast. Now, what they do, some of them will stay there and ride out the storm. But then when the storm is over and if they're still standing, guess what they don't have? They got no water. They got no power. They have no generator. They have no this. They have no that. I always tell people, stop hoping that you're going to be okay and prepare for it. Either you prepare for the disaster or you get out of Louisiana and go to somewhere else. That's what you have to do. You have to be willing to take risks and you have to be willing to look after your family. I would never live in the state of Louisiana again. I lived there one time when I was in the Air Force. And I got in a fight when I was there. I beat these two white boys up for trying to jump on me in the Air Force. They thought they was bad. They didn't know they was going to run into a brother from Philly. So they got beat up. And all I remember hearing somebody say was, don't get back up, brothers. I'm in the military. I'm well trained. The guy going to try to attack me. You going to go down. So that's my experience in Louisiana. So I won't live in that. And the state is shaped like a toilet. That's the reason why it's shaped like a toilet. There's a reason why the French sold it to America for $1 and a song. All right? So all I'm saying is you need to be proactive. You need to keep your head on the swivel. If you live in the flood zone, get out of it. If you live in the disaster zone, get out of there. If you're going to stay there, be prepared. Have your barrel of water, your 55-gallon drum of water. Have your emergency supplies that you need to survive. Another thing I want to say, brothers, is retire as early as possible. Okay, it's nice to have a career, but always be thinking in the back of your mind, how soon can I get up out of here and do whatever I want to do? Like I recently took a 2-week vacation last month, and I'll tell you, I was feeling good. I was like, oh my goodness, is this what it feels like when I got my own time? When you go on vacation, check it out. And that's when you know that you need to start preparing for retirement a lot sooner. I don't care if you're 30 or 40. You always got to be thinking about retirement. And last but not least, brothers, and thank you for listening to this, you got to set your children up financially. And what I mean is this. My son, on my portfolio, 4 of those positions are his. I literally bought those. I don't put it in his name. I make them the beneficiary. Because when they go for college and they want no student loan, because my kids are not getting no student loans. But if they have financial assistance out there where they don't have to pay it back, if they don't have an account, they're going to get that. If you put that account in their name when they're young, they're going to say, oh, he's got like $100,000 in his portfolio, so he can't apply for financial assistance. No, don't put it under there, put it under your name. Then when they get older, then you can transfer the funds over to whatever portfolio they want. The day my daughter's born next month, the next day I'm buying her a stock, a position. So get your children into the investments. My son knows how to read Bloomberg. He's like, oh, Daddy, look, the Dow Jones is down today. Oh, the S&P's up. Hey, what happened to the NASDAQ? This is my son telling me this. I show him his portfolio. He complained about school one day. And I showed him his portfolio. I said, while you were in school, you were making this kind of money on your portfolio. Get them started early so they can get financially secure. That way, when they're 18, 19 years old, they don't have to take that stupid job and just to break their back and make extra money, they can take a safer job, getting started out, and you can supplement them a little bit to make sure that they get the money they need to live. All right. So in a nutshell, brothers, one last thing. Always be networking, brothers. Always network like we're doing here. Always network. That's all I got to say, brothers. Oh, thanks, bro. Thanks, bro.
I had to clap. Tony Berry. I know you don't believe in God or no religion, but honestly, God bless you for that.
Thanks, brother. Thank you.
God bless you for that information, bro. I'm telling you, wow, I didn't get that when I was younger, and I'm sure many people on the panel didn't get that as well. Because some 18-year-olds, some 19-year-olds who watch my channel, that kind of information will set them up for life. Wow. Before I open up the phone calls, I want to ask Tony personal questions regarding finances. Tony, are you a index fund ETF person over buying individual stocks, or do you actually buy individual stocks as well? Speak on that, Tony.
Yes. So I am an index ETF person. I started off buying stocks, but then I started studying up on stuff, started watching some videos, and I learned that ETFs and funds are the way to go. There's a difference in how they're managed. Index funds, man, are beautiful because they're basically taking a lot of companies out of the stock market itself, and they're all growing up. Just because some goes down doesn't mean you're losing money. I have a few stocks left. One of the stocks that I have, ABBV, is taking a big hit this week, and I got a lot of shares of that thing too. And I think I'm invested like $6,000 in it. I was up $500 on it. Now I'm down like $30. It dropped that much. I'm not going to let it go because they have $96 billion in assets. No, I actually have $196 billion in assets. So then the company's not going to go anywhere. But going forward, all I do is buy ETFs or index funds. That's all I buy.
Fantastic, bro. And when do you decide to sell a stock, Tony? Is it when you reach a certain percentage? Let's say you make 50% gain on a stock. Is that when you feel like, oh, let me sell that? Or what's your exit plan for stocks, Tony?
I usually try to hang on to stocks as long as I can. Like I said, I've just been back. I used to be in the stock market 20 years prior, and I was surprised when I got back doing it during the pandemic. We got the stimulus check. I said, okay, let me go ahead and do this. My wife didn't want to get into the stock market because she's from Japan and they don't believe in the stock market really over there because they don't understand how it works. The women do. So that's why I was always had my money in savings. But then I used that as an excuse to get in the stock market. Now my wife's like all on board. She's like, oh my God, I can't believe all this money. So what I would do is I hold on to the stocks. I don't usually sell them off. I only sell them if they're like really not performing for months. Then I'll get rid of them. Because if you sell too high of a profit, you're going to take that tax hit, right? So you have to have a reason if you want to sell at profit. You have to have the reason. You just don't sell it just because it's up. Because the stock is going to go up and down. But over the course of keeping it, it's always going to go up more than what you would have sold it in, right away as. Because the market goes up 10% every year. Excuse me, no matter what.
Fantastic, brother. And do you also invest in crypto as well, Tony?
No, I don't do crypto, and here's why. I know a lot of brothers are into the crypto, and I know like a lot of brothers are saying they wish they got into that. The last thing you want to do is wish you got into something. The market is versatile. It's always changing. It's always moving. I don't do crypto because I saw a video on it. This is a couple in Portugal that are really nice, and they were advising us about crypto, and they were saying that crypto is basically when somebody goes and they buy like this certain crypto. Hey, it's Bitcoin. Buy this. But then if they get off of that bandwagon, Bitcoin will drop. Then they'll go into some other crypto. If that dropped, they'll go into some other. So the investors are always switching what Bitcoin they want to buy. And it's still too unstable for me as a long-term investor. That's why I don't invest in it. I'm not saying it's a bad investment. I'm just saying that's what I see so far from what I've learned.
Okay, thank you for that, Tony. I'm going to open up the phone lines, brothers, for anyone to ask Tony questions. In the meantime, brothers, please get the likes up if you can. That would be great. And of course, if you're not part of the Facebook group, join the Facebook group where you can speak to Tony directly and see Tony's posts on finance and situations in the US and Japan. Also, here is my Twitter as well. You can follow me on Twitter and send me a DM. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'm also on Instagram as well. So follow me on Instagram and send me a DM too. Yes, so brothers, feel free to support the channel through Cash App and through Super Chats. If you have any questions, please Super Chat it or call into the live show right now. So here is the StreamYard link I'm about to post. Call in. Okay, that's the link, brothers. Call in if you have any questions for Theo. And I'll pin the link. Also, Jesse, question for you, Jesse. Tell me how hashtags, how important they are, Jesse, and how much hashtags should I put within my title and my description? Because I have no idea. I'm reading about it right now. I'm a bit lost about it, Jesse. Did I call you Theo, Tony?
No. I know me and Theo on the same page, man.
I thought I did. E-Money gets in for. I thought I called you Theo today.
No, it's all good, brother. It's all good. Hey, I was going to ask you, IP, if I can ask you a question on this.
Yeah.
I need to research this myself, brother. So you don't have to answer everything. But in the UK, do you know the numbers in the UK? Like, is there a site I can go to and check the numbers, like a Black demographics that we have in the States?
I think I may know one. I'll send it to you.
Okay.
Don't know if it works. Yeah, I'll send it to you. It's not looking too good as well. Wealth is absolutely bad. I read a report by Bloomberg a couple months back that Black people in the UK have 0% of wealth in the housing property market. We got nothing, zero, not even 1%, zero,
What?
£0. Yeah, a lot of us don't own our properties. We rent a lot, and it's bad. Yeah, 0%. Indians are doing very well. Pakistanis are doing very well. Bangladeshis are doing very well. Who else? We got the Chinese doing very well. So every other ethnic minority in the UK is doing well apart from Black people. It's looking very bad here, Tony, and which is why my channel here, I'm trying to save as much American brothers as well as UK brothers. We got a couple UK brothers who watch my channel, but Tony, 0% in housing wealth. It's bad, isn't it?
That is horrible, brother, because that is the wealth. Oh my goodness. I learn something every time I come on this post, brother. I am in total shock right now. I knew it was bad, but I didn't think it was that bad.
It's bad, bro. We're doing a lot. A lot of American brothers tell me that that Black people don't do well in America. It's hard for them, but UK is doing a lot more worse. We're a smaller population. There's a lot of racism against Black people here, and I don't know. There's just no unity. 0% in housing wealth, and earning your property is what you would. It's the main benefactor to get you wealth, and it's 0% for UK Black people. It's very bad.
There's no generational wealth then, so you're not building up any generational wealth. So there's no pass down, if you will.
Yeah, nothing, man. It's very sad. I'll send you that report. You're going to be shocked, Tony. But I've got a super chat for you, Tony. He says here, shout out to Carbon's Nail 01 for the $15 super chat. He says, at Tokyo 64, I'm 55 years old and retired, single with no children. I make $55,000 a year and traveling. Should I invest to make more?
Yes, of course. Because like I said, and I wanted to add something on that, give yourself a raise thing that I was talking about earlier. If you're not getting enough to where you're at, the investments you can track will give you more money. Don't wait for somebody else to give you a raise. Create your own raises. So yeah, you want to invest. Yes.
Yep, definitely. Brothers, please start investing as soon as possible. I told brothers about Tesla a couple months ago, and Tesla, look at it right now, and a couple of stocks I recommend, especially for long term, Microsoft. I feel like Microsoft are going to do very well in the future. They're in a lot of, they have their fingers in a lot of pies, although they move quite slow for a stock. But I always tell brothers, instead of investing in an ETF, just invest in Microsoft. It's not going anywhere. It's a reputable company, and hold that for 20 years, 30 years, will make you wealthy. But let me bring in Mr. International. I also see David. David Najira, stay on the line, bro. I'm going to bring in Mr. International first. What's up, brother?
What's up, brother?
How y'all doing today?
All right, brother.
I'm good, bro. How you keeping? You okay?
Yeah, I just want to say one thing that I said in the comments that Mr. Barry, as I should say, because I got a lot of respect for you, man.
Thanks, brother.
Coming on here, all these lives that you're doing, you're just spitting wisdom, and this is international intel. I also said it's international intel, man. This helps us not just in America. It helps us in London. It helps us when we go to Canada. It helps us when we go to some of these countries where our dollar stretches farther. You know what I mean? So I just want to say I appreciate you, man.
Thanks, brother. Thanks. I appreciate that, brother.
And I appreciate IP too, because man, IP, you're like, come on, man. Both of y'all are doing God's bidding. I don't want to say God's bidding, but
It's all good,
both
brother.
of y'all, because IP always says that we're the chosen ones. So you know what I mean. Y'all two are really doing miracles and helping us out. You know, helping us young people out and showing us the way, man. So I just want to say thank you, man.
All right, no problem, brother.
Thank you, Mr. International. Put yourself on mute, please, brother. So I'm going to bring in an individual called David Najira. So David actually reached out to me through the comments, and I told him message me through IG. Me and David have a stream regarding real estate investing next week. David's going to break it down very thoroughly. So I'm looking forward to it. So I'm going to add in David, and then he can speak on real estate briefly, but I also know he wants to contribute to the live stream. I saw his comment about ETFs. I'm very excited about that. How are you doing, David? You okay?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. How about you, International?
Hey, not too bad, David. Not too bad. Thanks
David.
for calling
Hey,
in,
Tony.
brother.
Perfect. Yeah. So I actually had a question for Tony. You previously mentioned that you had owned a property in Hawaii. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I was curious about that. Was that like your first property?
Yeah. It was my first property, man. It's funny because I bought it and I was in Saudi Arabia at the time, and I didn't even look at it. I just had a friend look at the property there, and he said it was right by the golf course, but it was actually by the street. So I bought it blind, but I made money on this place. I mean, I bought it at the right time and sold it at the right time.
Well, yeah. Let me ask about that first, because that's not very common for somebody to buy a property sight unseen. What made you want to buy that property? I should ask.
Yes. So I was moving back to the States, and I had a job in Saudi Arabia. I think I was rushed because I knew when I got back to the States that I wouldn't have a job, and so right away. And I know that without having a job, I can't buy any property, and I didn't want to just come right back in and start renting something. And the market was really low, and I had saved up quite a few dollars to purchase when I was in Saudi. So I just took that gamble, and it paid off.
Yeah, that's actually a really well, being in the military is that's a good way about getting real estate, because you do have access to that. What is it called? Not the GI Bill, but the VA loan. Yeah, exactly.
I was actually a civilian when I was in Saudi. I'd already gotten out the military, and I didn't buy my house. We buy that place on the VA loan because I think certain properties don't qualify as a VA loan or for VA or FHA. So that's how I bought that property. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. So just to mention one thing, I don't know if there are any listeners in the military, but for example, I have a cousin who's currently in the Army, and I think he's stationed in Florida right now, and he has a reservation about buying a property over there because he's only stationed there, temporarily. But even if he's not going to be living there, you can still buy property elsewhere. There's different ways of managing a property. Even if you don't live there, you can have a property manager, and a lot of times you don't even need a property manager, especially if you pick tenants right and you have the right contacts for contractors and anybody who's going to be dealing with the property. Most likely it's not going to be yourself anyways. So yeah, also on that property, let's see here. So you said you bought that in 2005, and you sold that. I think you said you mentioned you made like 200K on that?
Yeah, I sold it in 2001. I mean, I bought it in 2001 in November of that year, and I sold it in the summer of 05. Man, I was like, whoa. I mean, I had to pick my buyers. They actually had all these people lined up to want to buy the place, and I literally picked out who I wanted to buy it. That's how good the
Nice,
market
nice. Yeah. If you're selling in an up market, I mean, you people are throwing money at you, like just like the past few years, it's been pretty crazy. So were you living in Hawaii while you owned the house?
Yeah. That was my primary residence. So I was there 4 years. I didn't really want to move to Hawaii. My ex was like, "Oh, let's go to Hawaii." So I just simped and okay, whatever, because I was worried about jobs and stuff like that.
Right.
But I got lucky with that sale though, and also I didn't have to give anybody anything. She pretty much let me have everything to myself.
What do you mean by that?
Well, when we broke up, when we got divorced, she was like,
"Oh, gotcha."
Yeah, she's like, so feeling so guilty because I found out later she was messing around. So that's why she just let me take everything, which is pretty rare. Trust me, she could have took half of that.
Yeah, you got off lucky. I've heard some horror stories. I'm sure we all have.
Yes.
While you own the property, I guess I should ask this. Since that one, have you owned any other properties?
Yeah. So I own my house now. I owned the property in Seattle. I bought a condo in Seattle, and that one was a foreclosure for me because I bought it and then the market crashed in 2008, and I was in the mortgage business, so there was no way I was going to be able to pay anything. And that's what I wanted to tell brothers too: is never give up. Just because you fail, don't mean that it's the end of the world. You fail, you fall back down, you dust yourself off. As a veteran, if you get a foreclosure, you can buy a house as quick as 2 years later, which is what I did. As a civilian, you can buy an FHA will give you a loan in 3 years. So just because you have a foreclosure on your record, 2 to 3 years later, you can buy another house, another property.
That's right. A foreclosure does affect your credit score, but from what I know, you don't even need that high credit score to qualify.
This is interesting, brothers. I think let's just keep it on the finance part. David, I know you're definitely interested in real estate. You actually are a real estate investor yourself, and we have that stream coming up next week. So let's not go too deep into property.
You're right.
But just speak about those ETFs you mentioned in the live stream comments, and ask Tony Berry regarding making money. The real estate conversation, that's next week, bro. Okay.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So I mentioned in the chat just a few because often people are asking or interested in getting into stocks. They're not quite sure in what to invest in. So ETFs, you can't go wrong with those. Vanguard, their fees tend to be pretty low. They're pretty well performing too. So I listed some in there just for as a reference for some people.
Yes.
Now, you said that you are invested in some ETFs. Do you know offhand which ones those are?
Yeah. If I look at my portfolio right now, so I know the ETFs, and I look throughout my portfolios that I have. I have a few portfolios. One of the big ones I got, so XLE, which is the oil, it's an energy ETF. Then I got like the VIG. Another one I'm looking at here that's a nice ETF is which one is that? PFFA, because PFFA is an ETF that pays every month. They pay dividends monthly. So that's in one of my portfolios. And then I got a nice index fund in there, VTSAX. I bought this one 2 months ago, and I'm already up like almost 7%.
Nice. Yeah, I just looked up VIG too. Looks like it's a Vanguard dividend fund.
Yes.
Yeah, it's interesting. I haven't heard of that one. I used to have some dividend stocks, dividend ETFs as well. But what I had found is that even though they do pay you every month, the percentage that the stock goes up compared to other ETFs, it doesn't seem to do quite as well. So that's why I kind of tend to stay away from the dividend stocks. Although it is definitely nice to see some actual cash money coming in regularly.
Yeah.
What did you? I'm sorry. What do you mean by percentage? Because I know I'm doing really well on dividends.
Yeah.
And I give you an example. I started off this year at my income from dividends reinvested was only $44 a month. Now I'm up to like $180 a month, and I haven't put much money in my market.
Okay. Would you happen to know what like the rough percentage of dividend that those pay out?
Yeah.
From what I've seen, they're not more than like maybe 4 or 5%.
Yeah, I have some. My yield on one of my portfolios right now, and it's probably about the same the other one. My yield is over 6%.
Okay, that's not bad at all.
Yeah.
For
So anything above like 2.5%, 3% is really well. My yield is a 6. So and guys, you know what the yield is? It's basically the amount of the dividend divided by the stock price. That's what's going to be your yield. So if your stock price is $100 a share and your dividends are like $6, that's like what? That's like 6% right there.
Okay. So
All right.
so for
Thanks
sure
for
you
that.
have
Thanks
ETFs.
for that, David.
For sure.
Yeah, we need to go for. I need to go for everyone in the panel, but good questions. I'm looking
Okay.
forward to our real estate stream next week, Tuesday.
I'm looking
Brothers
forward
should have seen. Yeah, looking forward to it.
Okay.
David
Talk to you
is
then.
very well versed in the investment space for real estate. All right, thanks for that, David. Okay.
No problem.
All right, put yourself on mute. Let me bring in JP Muscati. How you doing, JP?
I am good. How are you doing, fellas?
Good. I liked your post the other night, brother. Good job. Good job.
I'm good, bro.
Thank you. Now, I don't really have a question, but I do have a comment. I will agree with Tony Berry, particularly if you guys can to invest in a Roth IRA. I know you're able to invest. I think it's at least $5,500 a year. The good thing about it, the downside is that you have to pay the taxes up front. But the good side about it is that once you get that money, you get it all tax free. So you don't when you retire or you have to start taking your RMDs, which is your minimum distribution. You don't have to worry about paying taxes on those funds, and especially you want to invest because I work with a lot of elderly people. Majority of these people do not have money to live. People who they barely get scraps from Social Security. Some of them even still have to work. That's how bad it is. So you definitely want to make sure that you take the time to invest, even if it's a little bit. It does not that a lot. It's not a lot of money to start an IRA, but you just take whatever you can, whenever you can, and just invest.
Yep, that's 100%.
Yeah, and I wanted to say something on that too. So IRAs, the way they work is when you're over 50, you can invest up to $7,000. When you're below 50, you can invest up to $5,000 a year. And I was going to tell you, brothers, my wife doesn't have to work because I make more than enough income for that. But I did start a Roth IRA for my wife, so I contribute to her Roth IRA every month.
Okay, brother. JP Muscati, good point there. You don't want to be old and have nothing. You know, you don't want to do that. You want to be old and have plenty so you can live your life to the fullest. You know, I hate seeing old people working when they should be retired, which is why when you're young now, when you have the energy, when you can work three jobs, 2 jobs, when you can actually study hard all night, do it, brothers. It's worth it. It's for your future. Okay, you don't want to be old and have nothing. Okay, brothers. Shout out to Wealth Engineering for the $5 Canadian super chat. He says, fire content, classic shout out to Tokyo 64. Thank you very much again, Tony. Shout out to Wealth Engineering. I am big on crypto. I'll tell you that, Tony. I'm seriously thinking of going all in on ETH. You know, I think that's going to be a very big coin in the future. Probably be almost as big as Bitcoin in the future. So I might go all in on that. I know you're against crypto, but I'm big on it. And I'm just waiting for the dip. I'm also waiting for the stock market crash as well. I've got a couple of stocks I want to invest in, but they're too high for me at the moment. And I want to get into that in the future. But thanks for that, JP Muscati. Let me bring in Wealth Engineering. How you doing, brother?
Hey, how are you doing? Can you hear me well?
What's up? Well, hey, I watched your Montreal the other night, brother. You got to hook up with me on Facebook, man. You seem like a cool brother out there. How you doing?
Hey, very good deal. I'll send a post on the group and then we'll link up.
Thanks, brother. Thank you.
Yes. Well, hey, I just wanted to come and salute you and thank you for this content, IP. Thank you for bringing this content. This is the kind of content I want to see online, and especially when we talk about freedom one way, the best way to finance your freedom is to have residual income. And the safer way to have residual income, it's not with those scams, it's not with MLM, it's not with all these ads that you see on online, on Facebook, on YouTube. It's with the stock market. And I agree with you, IP. Me personally, I'm really interested in crypto market, and I found a way to do that with cryptocurrencies. So I just want to say shout out to the panel. But I came a little bit late, so I didn't catch a lot from the stream so far. But I wanted to ask you, Tony, and you, IP was mentioning that you're kind of against the cryptocurrencies. So I was wondering, do you think it's possible also, because at the end of the day the concepts are the same, right? You invest in something that can gain in value, and as it's getting in appreciation, you can also collect a dividend or any types of reward that way. Do you think this can be sustainable in cryptocurrencies, or is this possible in cryptocurrency as well? Like, do you think that's possible?
Yeah. I mean, I think it is. I mean, and I wouldn't say I'm totally against it. I just think that from what I've learned about it, I don't know enough about it, and I'm the kind of guy that if I don't know something, I'm gonna let people know. Hey, I don't know about it. I'm not up here to say, hey, brothers, don't get into it. But all I know is from what I've learned and seen, I wouldn't get into it only because if I understood it right, Bitcoin is only or crypto is only as good as the market itself props it up to be. So if like all these investors want to buy this particular crypto, it's going to go up. They could also turn around and say, you know what, forget you. I'm going to buy another crypto is what I'm getting at, because I'm very suspicious of American, of just these privileged investors, if you will. And we all pretty much know who they are. I'm very suspicious of them because they seem to be painting these borders around themselves to make it to where they get rich and to make it to where no one else does. IP mentioned something about he's going to wait for this to happen and wait for that to happen. That's one of the first rules of investing that you don't want to do. You don't want to wait for anything. You have to jump on it. You basically don't want to time anything, because when you time it, you're going to miss out.
Okay, brother. Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Don't time the market. Sorry, it's not about timing the market. It's about time in the market.
Yes,
I read that quote before.
Market too. Yes.
Never time the market. That's a good point there, brother. Yes. Okay. Thank you for that advice, Tony. I've just been patient on the sidelines. I'm waiting for a market crash. I'm hoping for a market crash, but I don't think it's coming, bro. Stock market was booming today. I was like, oh wow. And yesterday as well.
But you got to get out of that realm, because remember what you said on your post the other night. You said you let those two girls go when you was younger. You might as well flip the script and make it fast forward. You're looking at the stock market the same way. See my point?
Yeah, that's a good point there, brother. That's a good point. No regrets. You're definitely right. No regrets. And those two girls, man, it hurts me, but no regrets now. Move on forward. Be positive. Always forward, brothers. Always forward. All right, thanks for that, Tony. Thanks for that, JC Wealth Engineering. Unless you have any more questions, brother.
No, I'm good. I'll let it. And again, shout out to JP. I also saw your stream for the real estate. Yes, again, these are the type of contents that brothers needs to know, because we guys gotta fund your lifestyle, your passports, and that's the best way to earn your freedom.
Yes.
Yep. Wealth, riches, and wealth. What's going on, JP?
Oh no, I was gonna say I agree, and honestly, I am excited about the other one that you have coming up, because I feel like it never hurts to have different types of real estate, just like how it never hurts to diversify in different types of stocks. I will say, I don't know if it's true or not, but they do say that that. I know you guys are talking about a crash, but they do say that there's going to be a crash in the real estate market because of, at the end of the evictions, a lot of people are not going to be able to rent. So it's going to be this time into real estate investment. All these properties are going to foreclose, and properties are going to be on the low.
All right, JP. Thanks for that, bro. Looking forward to our stream next week, David. It should be a classic as well. Let me bring in the legendary Mr. J Bones. What's up, brother?
Bones up.
J Bones.
What's up?
What up, J Bones?
Hey, IP, can I say something real quick?
Okay, yeah, go on, bro.
Oh, I just wanted to say, man, Tokyo 64, JC Well, JP Mascotti, Jay Bones is coming in. This is just a setup of just articulate men that are thinking about the big picture, and that's what I like to see. I remember the Croatia live streams and Portugal live streams and all the live streams, the beginning of all this IP, and I'm just happy to see where this is going.
Thanks for that, Mr. International. There'll be a lot more traveling live streams. I'm telling you, brothers, I'm itching to travel to a country. I'm just waiting for the borders to get better in the UK. Once I'm out there, full-on video footages of the beach, food, life in different countries. I can't wait, brothers. So right now, doing the live streams, but I've got a lot of plans for this channel. I'm going to be out there, Japan, flipping South Korea, South America, Africa. It's going to be lit, brothers. But give me more time. The whole travel borders in the UK, they're a bit extra with it. Jay Bones, what's up, brother?
Hey, IP, sorry about that, man. My I'm still up in the mountains, so my Wi-Fi is pretty shaky. How's everybody?
What's up?
All good, brother. All good.
Yeah, man. Just wanted to say shout out to Tokyo 64, man. Thank you so much for joining us, man. Shout out to Tony Berry, bro.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I think this is the best, as what's his name was the brother was saying, IP, we are it's a back to back situation. It's like what we're carrying on from yesterday when IP was describing, certain regrets and certain things that we should have done when we were younger. But, most of us are still in our young ages and we're still pushing for the best. But like I said, it's good to have guys like Tony and guys like Theo in a mix with us. I would definitely like to add on to something very interesting. My goal, pretty much, I got lucky because I have something to look forward to. Or I have people who are in front of me, and I've gotten a chance to look at them and see how they've been able to operate. I said this before. I'm the youngest out of 6 boys, and my brother Eric, the older one from Michael, he went to Stanford. Eric went to Columbia. Joshua went to Columbia. Pari went to Stanford himself, and I got another brother, Mikey. He's the second Mikey. He actually went to Princeton. So I got a chance to be around a lot of Ivy League kids, and myself going to Notre Dame. I'll tell you one thing. I got a chance to watch my brother retire at the age of 34. And when my brother Jeremy retired at 34, he was just, he's just living his best life. This guy's like traveling to every single country. He's just living like the greatest life I've ever seen in my life. So it's like I'm getting a chance to watch somebody. And the truth about it is that, gentlemen, we are in a prime position. When Tony and them, when they were growing up, they didn't have the opportunities that we have. A lot of times they were restricted from if you listen to Tony talk, he's from Philly, and when they were growing up, especially brothers back then, information that they were supposed to be given, they would be restricted from that information quickly. You would join in the military, you wouldn't get promotions that even though you were better, even though you were well qualified for better positions, you were restricted from getting those positions just because you were black. So we are in a prime position to do great things. We're in a prime position to do great things. Like I was telling IP about my girl the other day. She's planning on retiring. We're both in our 20s. She's probably 2 or 3 years older than me, but she's primed to retire. She's actually going to retire probably when she turns 32. So yeah, this is exactly where we are. We can do this. We can definitely do this. And for the brothers that do who are really getting into the traveling thing, I'm gonna tell you something that I do personally. I don't like to share, some of my personal stuff online, but one of the things that I've been able to do at a young age, and my girl gave me information, some of the money that I made as soon as I left Notre Dame, I used it to buy international real estate. Something that you really got to check out is international real estate. She would tell me certain things because it's that whole Israeli thing. In America, Israelis are really with the real estate thing. basically buying up different properties and moving around mortgages and stuff like that. She would tell me that some of the things that her dad would do is that they would kind of drop off into different countries that are very much below the poverty line, and they would use the dollar to the advantage. They would buy certain lands that were closer to the water. They would buy certain lands that were, everybody knew maybe in a couple of years, if it was only worth 30,000, 2 years later, it would be worth 50,000. And 3 years later, it'd be worth 60,000. She went with her dad to Manila in the Philippines, and they bought a huge piece of land, which is across the street from the harbor. That land before COVID was only worth 80 grand. After COVID, now it's worth $200,000. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So you gotta for some of the brothers too, you guys gotta start thinking about that international real estate. It's not always about traveling to meet the chicks. Sometimes too, we just gotta travel to see what opportunities are out there. Sometimes, you have to take the advantage of being an American. Like, you brothers are, you guys are still American. I mean,
yo, preach, J-Bones, preach, man. I'm sorry.
Just imagine, when you go somewhere, just imagine like the love that we get outside. It's only here, Keisha and Shaniqua wants to punch us every second they get. But when we're outside, we're actually, we're damn near kings outside. So you brothers start doing that too. You start thinking about it. I've been low key doing that myself. Like I buy up a little bit of real estate here, a little bit of real estate there. I own land actually. I was born in Ghana, but I own land in Togo. I own land in Burkina Faso. I own land in Gabon. Like I used to go there. My uncle was a fisherman in Gabon, so I used to go there, and I would just call him and be like, "Yo, I'm coming to visit you." So when I was there with him, I'd be looking around and asking questions and talking to some of the locals. Like I'd pay somebody $20 to kind of translate French for me. So I'd be like, "Yo, how much does this cost? How much does that cost? Okay, you know the coconut farm over there. Okay, how about the sugar cane farm? How much does that cost?" And I would just low key buy it. I would look into what the dollar exchange transferred into what their money would be, and the dollar completely kills them. The dollar just completely destroys whatever they have, and I would buy it. Not too expensive, but that's how it starts out. I would buy like 7 acres for just $500. You understand what I'm saying? I would just buy another 2 acres for like probably $300. And international real estate is going to be a thing. It is definitely going to be a thing. So you guys start looking for any bit of advantage. And IP, I know a lot of brothers are waiting to call in, so I'm gonna just leave it there, and we just we're gonna have to spread this out.
I was gonna say some of the international real estate for a minute. And actually, I own land in Japan too. So
hey, there we go. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And now heading towards the idea that Japan is becoming a hot spot. Maybe one day somebody might call Tony and be like, "Yo, Tony, how much do you want for that 20,000 land?" Maybe 40,000, and then Tony would sell them and make a 20,000 extra profit. And that's just the thing. We really got to spread our minds. And the best thing about it, brothers, is just remember one thing: there are more Pookies and Ray Rays than there are guys like us. So in the end, we're going to win. That's how this thing is going to come down to. Yeah, there are more degenerates in our culture than we have guys like us. That's why I always say, like the Italian mafia used to say, this thing of ours. You understand what I'm saying? If you're here, and Tony's from Philly, so he knows exactly what that means. This thing of ours. Yeah. Yep. If you're here with us, if you're on IP's channel, you're one of us. Yep. You're one of us. You understand what I'm saying? You're not one of them. You're not running around trying to find out how you can fill up extra clips so you can shoot up the block on Tuesday. You're not one of you're not one of those characters. You're one of us. And I'm gonna leave it here. I know we got a lot of young brothers in the space right now. And I want to be able to address something really quickly before I go IP. When the brother David Nigeria hopped on here and he was asking Tony questions, I saw some of the brothers in the chat bringing up the fact that he's not black. Let me explain something to you. I know we have some millennials in our section here. It doesn't matter if he's white. You're supposed to learn from everybody. Most of the information I've ever received, the person that helped me get started in my life to make 6 figures is my girlfriend, who is directly from Tel Aviv, Israel. She's a Jewish girl. You're supposed to learn from everybody. You're supposed to learn from a Japanese person. You're supposed to learn from a Korean. You're supposed to learn. I don't care if somebody's coming from hell. You're supposed to learn from them. Yeah, I don't care. I don't care if the person's from a different planet. You learn from everybody. You wake up every single morning and you learn from. I've worked for everybody. When I was in Chicago, I used to work for an Argentinian family. All I did was clean toilets all day. But after that, they would give me different ideas on how to start different businesses. When I lived in St. Louis, I used to clean a Japanese restaurant. I would go in there after they were done cooking. Ohio, hey, how are you? Niño tashite kudasai. Ohio guys. Yeah, great. Whatever, yeah. And then I'll be sitting there laughing and giggling with them. Yeah, Tanjobi desu ka? Okay, yeah, whatever. Yeah, that's great. And and I'd be doing it. It's St. Louis. Shout out to East St. Louis. I'd be sweeping the bathroom. I'd be learning certain things about their culture. I've worked for Chinese people. I've worked for Asians. I've worked for Jewish people. I used to work at a Jewish law office. Now, trust me when I tell you, there's a lot of business going over there and you have no idea about it. You're supposed to learn from everybody. So I know we have a lot of millennials in here, a part of IP space. Do not, if somebody's invited into our space, do not start talking about white people oppressed us. Do not start talking about, oh, why is this white person here? Stop being childish. If you're here to learn, then just say you're here to learn. And in the future IP, you're probably going to have to handle that situation, because if you invite somebody here and they don't share the same skin color as us, that doesn't mean that we're going to shame them. You're supposed to be learning from everybody. Yeah, you're supposed to. I know that was a very childish thing. Let
me address it right now. It was Aaron B. So he says here, how would these other people that don't like us get advice from us brothers, but other way around, they don't give us nothing? Aaron B. David reached out to me. He said, I want to give further advice on real estate investing. He didn't have to do that. He watched the JP Muscati video and said, I want to give further intel, right? And your other point here, Aaron B, you said here, this guy just came out of nowhere to get free advice without even supporting a black man and the channel with a Cash App or Super Chat. Aaron B, I have not seen you once send a Cash App or Super Chat yourself. I have not seen you once support this channel through a Super Chat or Cash App, but you're getting on to him about him not sending a Super Chat or Cash App. Him agreeing to do a live stream with me next week regarding real estate is very valuable for everyone here. Can we start being mature, everyone? I was going to address this, but it was going too fast.
What's worse? Hold on for a second, IP. What's worse is that he's actually your neighbor. Aaron B lives across the street from you over there in England, and he still won't support the channel. That's the horrible part. That's the horrible part. Yeah, you live in a neighbor. I don't know how you boys over there in the UK get down, but if I live next to Tony Berry, in Philly, I'm going to be supporting him. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't know if you've noticed, but Thomas Demaham supports all the time. And he supports because why? He lives across the street with IP. We got too many kids in here. If you're going to be here, you're going to act like one of us. You're not going to be childish.
No,
if you want to learn something, say, if you're going to learn something, say you're going to learn something. I mean, I find you guys have no idea. We got Theo and Tony in here. These are people that we're going to, if we become half the man that Theo and Tony become in life, I think we should be proud of ourselves. If we become half of these people, I think we should be proud of ourselves.
If I can interject, brother, thank you so much, Jay Bones, for that, man. And the thing is this, we should welcome all people in the group, but here's what my whole take on it always is. As a black man, I'm always going to speak truth. I always tell my white friends, don't expect me to shut up just because you're white. If I know the history, I know the history. If it happened, it happened. We can't hide it. So I always tell the white guys, hey, man, like I got this group called IntelliBlack on Facebook that gets deep. I mean, they go at each other's throats, but it's a good, healthy group. And I tell white people, I give them that warning. You sure you want to come in here? Because ain't nobody holding back. And it's not a group against hating white people, nothing like that. It's just a group of black men up here on this platform should be proud to talk about the history and say what's on our mind without having to worry about any setbacks.
That's what's up. On my channel, I made it very clear that, we go through a lot as black men. I call out people. I call out repression against black men within our community, outside forces. But I've still, I agreed for David to come on, and I told David, can you give intel on real estate matters further? He said that he can really give us intel and drop it down to a very simple terminology for anyone to get into it. He could have said, he could have not even replied, he could have not even wrote a message under my video. He actually said, I want to come on the channel and give intel. Aaron B, I've not seen you super chat or cash app, right? You've been exposed. you've been exposed.
I just don't like that level of ignorance is too high, man. Yeah. You gotta learn. You gotta learn to learn from everybody. You have to learn to learn from everybody, man. It's not time to be a kid. It's really not time for us to be children out here. This is not time for that. This is not time for that. Because here's the thing. If what's his name?
Hold on, bro.
Go ahead, IP. Sorry about that.
In the UK, right? Indians do exceptionally very well. They have the best jobs. They have a lot of businesses in the black community. They do a lot of great things in the UK. Brothers who are smart will learn from them. They won't be like, why are you bringing this Indian person around me? You learn from people that have some level of success or they are better in some fields than you. But carry on, J Bones.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. It's not. Nobody. I know you're a millennial, Aaron B. Nobody's up here shaming you. We're actually giving you advice. If you're gonna learn from this situation, I keep my mouth shut. I'm sitting in my office and I'm avoiding a million paperwork I have to do just so I can sit here and learn from Tony Berry. This is a real thing. This is a real thing. You have to take your life seriously. These guys have been through the fire. Like I look at Theo and I could tell Theo and Tony, these guys know what's going on all the time. I could tell these guys know what's going on all the time. Like you can tell that they've been through the fire. They know what's going to happen is no matter what happens, we are seeking happiness. I don't like Tony Barrett because he's tall, dark, and handsome. I like the dude because he's always smiling. And I saw the picture. I saw the picture when he posted on Facebook with his family. You could tell Tony's having a great life, bro. This is what we want. This is what we need, bro. This is what we want, man. This is how black men we should be. You understand what I'm saying? Because it's too much frustration out here for us as brothers, man. Like I'm trying to learn from this dude, and I'm seeing a whole bunch of nonsense in the comment section. I'm like, yo, if you guys aren't here to learn, then why are you here with us? Like, what's the point? Yeah, why are you here with us then?
Hey, IP, can I say one thing, man? One more thing, man.
Before you do, bro, let me just read out the super chat. Shout out to AN for the $6.99 Canadian dollars. For those googly eyes, I don't know what they mean, but shout out to AN for the super chat. Carry on, Mr. International.
Well, I just want to say, and I said this in the comments, networking doesn't have a color. Network.
No.
Yes, we got now. Come on, man. You're blocking your opportunities when you start. You gotta be the bigger man.
The only color that matter. The only color that matters is green.
Yeah,
green is
exactly.
The only color that matters.
The only color that network has is green. That's the only color.
Mr. International, I agree with you on that. To J Bones, you know why? Because remember we had that lady up here, a couple ladies that they was getting all nasty with these high value brothers up in here, and they should have been using that opportunity to meet us instead of getting nasty. Now they're gonna die alone in the dog. That's what happens. That's exactly what happens, brothers.
And they missed the opportunity.
They missed the opportunity. Yep.
Hey, and I got one more thing to say. Aaron B's been around as long as I've been around, and I've been around from the beginning. And the only reason why, one day I'm gonna set a super chat so big, you're gonna be like, man, this guy's a real fan. But I'm in Pennsylvania. You mean I haven't been in Philadelphia? I've been in Philadelphia. I've visited Philadelphia, but I'm in the slums. You feel me? I go through poverty, man. That's the only reason why my phone broke. That's why my phone be breaking. That's why I don't be able to comment all the time. You feel me? I don't even have ways to get in contact sometimes. But listen, I show love by saying great streams and commenting and stuff. Aaron B, my man is a big troll, and that's still my guy. He's our guy and stuff. But man, he's the biggest troll of them all, man.
Oh, geez, should I block him, brothers?
I think what we should do, brothers, is we should use Aaron B to grow. God. We should use Aaron B to grow because we're going to run into all kind of brothers like Aaron B. I mean, keep in mind, we're going to educate the brother. We're going to help the brother out. We're going to bring him along. Aaron B going to be a rich man in 10 years. And you don't even know it if he stays on this platform. Everybody on this platform going to be rich and retired, man, in 10 years. And they're going to be like, whoa, IP going to be like doing talk shows on CNN and BBC. They're like, dang, who's this IP? They're going to be tripping. because this is where this platform is going. So if people want to drop off, let them drop off. See ya. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, let me read the super chat. So shout out to Wealth Engineering for the $5 super chat. He says Indian in the UK or in Canada don't complain about what white people did to them. They sit together and share knowledge to help each other. Yep, at that part where it says share knowledge, to help each other is the key point there. Sharing knowledge is very important because in this world, there are certain things that can make you rich, but not everyone knows about it. Like I remember a couple months ago, one brother told me about a rabbi trust. He said a prenup isn't good enough. What Jewish people use is a rabbi trust to make sure that if someone gets divorced, they won't take your assets. Who knows about rabbi trust?
They'll tell you. They'll tell you. I've heard about it because my girl is Jewish. You know how I heard about it? My girl told me to my face. She told me to my face. She said, James, if we ever get married, I'm going to use a rabbi's trust on you because, I make low six figures. I crossed the $100,000 margin by only $4,000. Do you understand what I'm saying? But she's a corporate lawyer. She makes real six figures. Like she makes 3 times as much as I make. So if we should get married, I'm actually, and if we should get married, she's in danger because just in case if we get a divorce, I'm going to be getting paid hella alimony. I'm gonna be getting paid so much money. I'm gonna be buying 2 Teslas. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, I've heard about stuff like that, and it's something that makes
Yeah, I have no idea.
I've heard about it too.
Can give us information, brothers, because once we start making this money, bro, we got to find ways to protect it. That's what happens next.
Mm.
Yeah,
that's true. Because the higher value you get, you got to protect your money.
Yeah, I told I told you before, there was a brother that went not a brother, there was a white dude. He used to work for JP Morgan. He went down there to simp in what do you call it, in the Dominican Republic. He got married to some girl there. The girl, the Dominican girl, she divorced him a year and a half later, and he thought, everything's cool. It's a third world country. He can just hop on a plane and come back to America. He's cool. And then next thing you know, he got contacted by the U.S. Embassy saying, hey, you're going to have to pay alimony. And he's like, what? What are you talking about? He's like, what did you think you could just get up and leave? She went to the American embassy over there. She went to the American embassy over there in the Dominican Republic. She had them contact a lawyer in Chicago and send in paperwork to his house. Yeah. Now he's paying alimony. So you got to learn how to, if this thing works out for us, brothers, and we're doing what we're supposed to be doing, we're going to have to learn how to protect our money. I know some boys that go to the Bahamas and they don't go down there to go swim. They go there for 2 days. They're talking to people about how to hide their money, how to put the money into different trusts, how to move. I learned a lot from those. Let me tell you some IP. I learned a lot from those white boys at Notre Dame. I learned a lot from those white boys at Notre Dame. That's why I'm trying to tell you, it doesn't matter who comes into this channel. I don't care if Lucifer himself comes here. If they can teach us how to survive this thing, this is how we're going to be able to survive this thing. I'm telling you, Tony, I learned so much from those white boys over there at Notre Dame. They used to, hey, dude, you know what my dad did last week? What did your dad do, Chad? Dude, like he was totally, like he totally moved like $500,000 from his account in Barbados straight to Switzerland, and he moved it before the time lapse. So then, my mom's divorce lawyer wouldn't be able to see it before 7:00. I said, oh, really? I didn't even know that was a thing. Yeah. Trust me, you will learn a lot from these white boys. So let us not sit up here talking about, ain't nobody's shaming you, Aaron B. Nobody's shaming you. Nobody's shaming the brother E Money or whatever his name is, and nobody's shaming. I don't even know Kingu Kitsune. I don't even know who you are. Nobody's shaming anybody up here. I just want you brothers to sit quietly so we can learn something and become better versions of ourselves. That's all I want. Yeah. My bad, IP. Go ahead, bro. Sorry about that.
I would just have Aaron B. He's gonna call me on IG. Hopefully, he calls me. We're both from the UK, Aaron B. So call me later on today on IG. We've messaged each other before, and let's speak, bro. I don't want this to happen again. But shout out to Conrad Grant for the $2 super chat. He says big shouts to IP Tony Berry for dropping fire intel. Thank you very much, bro, for the super chat. It's much appreciated, Conrad Grant. Another regular supporter, Aaron B. and he's American too, Aaron B. I'm just kidding. Shout to E gets money. E Money gets it in for the £2 super chat. He says, salute to this fellowship. Salute to you too, brother. I love seeing UK brothers support and UK brothers in the chat. Mr. Tokyo 64 himself, Tony Berry, thank you very much for the $10 super chat. This is a lot of fun being up here, brothers. Thank you, bro. It's fun having you here, Tony. I've learned a lot from you, and I'm sure a lot of brothers have learned a lot from you. Thank you, bro. I know you've been through a lot, especially as a black man in America. I know it's tough there, but Tony, to see you thrive with a beautiful wife and a child, bro, I wish you long life. I know you don't believe in God, but God bless you and your family. Long life. It's all good, bro. And I want to say this. I want to go back to someone's point here. This is a very good super chat, JC Wealth. But the part about don't complain about what white people did to them, I'm on the fence on that, because I do understand that white people have put in structural ceilings against black people that have stopped us from rising in Africa, in America, and the UK. But on the other hand, I do understand that a lot of us do have a mentality where we can't do things because we feel like racism will stop us. But I do feel like there are some structures in society that can stop black people from thriving. But it's a good super chat, bro, and I do agree that sharing knowledge is very important. But I will call out racism. Carry on, Tony. Sorry.
No, I'm sorry, but I was going to interject on that IP. So another thing, you just reminded me of something. So if you guys are familiar with the Bay Area, Silicon Valley, homes over there are averaging $1.4 million. Now here's why, and this is going to answer that question about, or help IP on this answer about why black people have been suppressed. They make laws locally. What happens is whites in America are sneaky. What they'll do, and I told you we're not against whites, but I'm gonna speak the truth. What happens is the people that have power, the people that bought property, what they do is they get all these property buyers, they live in there, and then they create laws like save the bay, save the street. And what those things are is there to keep other people from moving in. That's why those property values go up. So blacks like, why can't I never get a house in the posh neighborhood in San Francisco or San Jose? It's because they disallowed building because of their zonal laws.
And also, Tokyo 64, I'm very well aware, sorry, brothers, of Silicon Valley. I know that for some reason, it feels like black people are being locked out of the tech space in California. And that's where a lot of Indians, Chinese, and whites are making filthy amounts of money working for Facebook, Google. But you don't see black people in that area. That's a bit. So I do blame white people, Indians, and Chinese for locking black people out. These guys are the managers in these companies, and they are specifically locking out black people from gaining wealth in the tech space. But speak on that, Jay Bond.
Can I speak on that after?
Yes, bro.
What's his name?
Sorry, hold on, bro. You want to say something, Tony?
Yeah, I was going to say, so I experienced that myself. Being in IT for 11 years now in Seattle. When I first graduated from my IT certificate, the whites would not even hire me. I remember going to one interview, the guy had his back to me and told me to just write some code on the board. Didn't even look at me the whole time during the interview. So yeah, they didn't want us in there. And less than 1% of the industry is black. Less than 1%. And that's appalling.
That's messed up. And I'm telling you, a lot of people are making filthy amounts of money in that industry. Tech is the future, and black people are being locked out. Specifically, Black American men. Black American men are being locked out in that Silicon Valley space. Go on, Jay Bones, and then JC Wealth.
Those kids, those kids over there at Stanford in California, some of them are leaving their junior year to go straight to Google. Do you understand what I'm saying? And the average, some of those kids are 21. The average income, I think the average to be a senior programmer, the average income for some of these 21-year-olds are 1.2 million. Some of these kids are making 1.2 million at 21 years old over there in Silicon Valley, and they've locked out all the black kids. They've locked out all the black kids. But you know, the thing about it is that sometimes some of those situations, I don't get upset. The reason why I don't get upset is because of one reason. I've met a lot of young black programmers, and I don't care what the structure of our society does. I see that things are about to change. They're about to change because some of these young black boys who are into tech, who are into programming, they're into the gaming industries. Oh, trust me, they're about to do their own thing. They're about to do their own thing. It's gonna make Silicon Valley look like it's damn near some a backwards ghetto somewhere in India. It's about to look real good. Yeah, some of these young brothers, some of these young black men, I'm telling you, something's gonna happen. Something's definitely gonna happen. Yeah.
Lord willing, yes. Hopefully that happens, man.
Yes, God willing, definitely.
God willing.
Yeah,
Carry on, JC.
I just wanted to speak a little bit on that. So I agree. There is, if we talk about the past and what with the Jim Crow laws and all that, of course there is no like excusing this behavior for sure. The reason why I mentioned that and I emphasize on they don't complain on what the others are doing is because of course for us in our community it gets to a point where it's almost handicapped us because we're so focusing on blaming others that we're not even seeing past that and how to gain our power back, right? And that's basically what I was trying to highlight. When we focus more on what can we do, like what's in our control versus focusing on things that is not on our control, no matter like how bad things get with the like white supremacy, we have no control over that. But what can we do in terms of our own action so we can be together? And together, like there is a famous Asian proverb that says l'union fait la force. It means with union comes strength, right? So how can we unify with each other and focus on a single goal, which is building our wealth, engineer our wealth. Therefore, we can have more influence. We can build and we can actually change things to the better. And I agree with J Bones. Like things are about to change, and that's one of the reasons why I love cryptocurrencies. Is because now the biggest tool that white supremacy was using to lock us down is being unchained with cryptocurrencies. Now it's decentralized. No one has control over it. So if we focus our mind and our energy and build a strategy to build our own community, our own wealth, we can actually use this technology just like we use internet to share and communicate with the way that we're doing now. We can actually use the cryptocurrencies, which is the financial world, and build an entire economy around that. So there is so much more potential and possibility going back in the future, and that's kind of why I like to focus more on what can we do, what's in our control to build that. So I agree with you, IP. Like at the end of the day, it's there is a lot that they have done to us, but what can we do to overcome that? And at the end of the day, also help our community, help our women, help our travel around the world, build our own economy.
Yep, great point there, JC Wealth. But you said help women. I want black men to help themselves first and help other black men. Black men need to be supporting each other first. I'm sorry, but a lot of sisters nowadays are not on the same wavelength as us, unfortunately. So it's time for black men to support each other, uplift each other, and thrive together. You want to say something, Tony, before I go to Sean M?
Yeah, I was going to say, we need to get off that female financing for Simps program. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's where a lot of us, 75% of black males have grew up on that program. And that's what we got to get off. I mean, look, JC Wealth has got a point. We do have to help the women out, but IP, right, we got to help ourselves out first. We have to look back and look at ourselves first. We have to save our young men. I mean, people don't value an 18-year-old black male, but trust me, I value 18-year-old black men because I see the potential. I see where they can go. And like J Bones was saying, those kids are getting them the software, they're getting that development. I'm teaching my son how to code. They're going to be out there. They're going to be running things.
God willing, yes, can't wait to see Tony's son make the next Facebook be a CEO. I hope I see that because I want to see more black CEOs, man. I'm tired of every time a company IPOs, it's either some white guys or some Asian guys. Never see a bunch of black guys. I want to see more black people, especially black men specifically, becoming CEOs, IPOs. I want to see the black equivalent of Elon Musk. Everyone talks about Elon Musk, he's a next great CEO, but I want to see the black equivalent of that. A guy who doesn't give a damn about what people say about him, who's innovative, who's a billionaire. I hope I see that very soon. What's up, Sean M? You've been very patient, brother. How are you doing?
What's up, guys? How y'all doing? I just wanted to call in. IP, Mr. Tony, it's a great show going on. IP, I love your content. I've been watching it for about, 8-9 months at this point. It's given me a lot of intel on the travel, and then I've watched pretty much all the lives. I had a long post on Mr. Tony's post the other day when he was talking about setting this live up, and you guys, you're hitting a lot of stuff on the net. You're hitting the nail on the head, brothers, it's rare to see like groups of brothers coming together, especially talking about finances or, generally anything productive, so like when I see like groups like, your group, I just get really inspired and like just really hyped up, because it is, it's great to see other brothers with the same, mental, concepts and everything, trying to get, some money, get to the money, so yeah, I mean, between that, Mr. Tony, everything you're saying, like a lot of that stuff was a lot of wisdom. I could tell, that came from like years of, experience. I was like, man, wow, this sounds like my pops right here. So, I definitely appreciate, everything you said, and all the intel you give us from, your experiences in Japan to real estate, to everything, what you're doing now, man. I really appreciate everything y'all do.
Oh, thanks, brother. Because I was going to take IP. You know what we forgot to mention when you said brothers owning business. Enough blacks don't own business. So you know what that means? People like me and Theo and all the brothers up here, we're getting paid 30% less than what we should be getting paid. Think about it. If you go to a job interview and I'm interviewing with you and Mr. International and Jay Bones, y'all interviewing me, I'm pretty much in the bag for hire. Or if we interviewing you, you pretty much in the bag. But you go to a white businessman, they make you feel like, yo, you need to appreciate us hiring you. It's the other way around. We got to flip that switch. You lucky you getting my services.
Yes. So very true. Very true, Tony.
So brothers are getting 30% less than what we should supposed to be getting.
Yeah. So if you're, let's say hypothetically your job is paying you 200K a year, if you came through me, I'll be paying you 300K a year because you're a brother,
See what I'm saying? Exactly. Because brothers appreciate, just like what Sean was saying, brothers appreciate being on this platform. And see, another thing I want to add too, and that's why I wanted to talk finance. Black people in general are scared to talk to each other about money. They're scared. And it's because we've been going to school on that Financial Female for Sense program for 17 or 18 years. That's because we've been looking at female financing. The brothers are scared to talk to anybody else about something outside the female financial zone. We need to talk to each other about money as men and not be afraid to talk about it.
Yeah, that's a good point there, Tony. I want to address that real quick. Shout out to Marvin Lloyd for the $2 Canadian super chat. I've got a lot of Canadian viewers from the super chats on my channel. Thanks for that, Marvin. Appreciate it, brother. Yeah, I really feel like, Tony, growing up in a single mother household has been very detrimental to the black community, especially for black men. You're right. I do see a lot of black men just spending money on useless women because, of course, grew up in a single mother household. The mother was both the masculine and the feminine figure, was the only person in his life. So essentially, the brother worships women. I've seen it. I've seen brothers, even though his girlfriend is awful, she's a bad person. Oh, but nah, she's cool because that's what they've seen all their lives. Women are these sort of gods. They looked after him. They nurtured him. There was no father in his life, so he hates men or he won't get along with his father. And it's really sad to see that, brother. But speak on that more, Tony.
Yeah, so it's just like, how brothers, like the media, how the movies, and like IP mentioned this the other day about how we listen to the Simp songs and Love You, go rub my feet, baby, all this other crap, right? And go movies and all this other crap, right? And brothers grow up on that. So then, how you do something to where if you mistakenly don't hold the door for somebody coming through because you didn't see them really, or you don't care enough, they always treat you better. Oh, you don't care? Well, you're selfish. You don't care about that. I'm not here to care about that. I'm here to take care of my family. When I go outside my doors, I don't even look at these women. I don't even give them the time of day. Remember what I told you, brothers? Your time is important. So if you used to making like say $30 an hour, if you sit up there and talk to a woman that you don't even care about for 15 minutes, you don't waste the $30 because they charge you an hour no matter what. You don't waste the $30. That's your time. If you out there simping on a date, trying to get in this girl's pants or whatever the case may be, and you spending hours and hours and getting nothing, that's $30 times however many hours you spend. Your time is important. Like I said, a Chinese ain't gonna go out there and do that. They're gonna waste their time studying skills and financing. Brothers out there chasing women for what? They ain't worth a damn anyway.
Yeah.
So that's what we gotta understand.
Very true. I've always said this: if you come from a single parent household, leave that household as soon as you can. It's for the benefit of your life. You better run. Like, start renting somewhere, even though if it's a shared property, if it's cheap, just do it, because women don't understand what men go through. I find that single mothers use their sons as emotional baggage. Expect him to run the household, expect him to do everything.
Play football, make money.
Yeah, play football, support my lifestyle. You're the man. Nah, it's ridiculous. You got 15-year-old boys going through that. When you're 15, you should be enjoying life, playing Yu-Gi-Oh, playing Beyblade, watching some anime, whatever. Not being the man of the house, because there's no father in the house. And that's why a lot of young black men are damaged in the West, in America, and the UK. In the UK, I see a lot of these brothers out here looking like the Walking Dead zombies. I'm not even kidding. Literally like the Walking Dead zombies, because it's just madness what they're going through in their households. Shout out to Conrad Grant for the $2 super chat. Tony Berry, your legend.
Thanks, CG. Thanks, brother.
Yes, bro. Appreciate Conrad, and appreciate you, Tony.
I was going to say something, IP. I'm sorry, brother. Give me 1 second. I was going to say, what I like about I see a lot of Canadian brothers up here too. And what I like about this UK Canadian, here's what we need to understand, brothers. We need to do a stream on this or talk about this. How are brothers able to obtain wealth in countries outside of America? I'm still shocked that 0% own homes in the UK. I'm shocked. As long as brothers have been in the UK, I am absolutely appalled.
Yeah, that was the question I was gonna ask. I was gonna ask you that, IP, because you know something, I'm not gonna lie, we don't really as an American thing, we don't really learn about other people's countries too much, because when you live in America, you just find yourself to be the champion of society. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, I never knew that. If you never told me, IP, I didn't know that black people in the UK didn't have anything.
Me too.
I never knew that. Yeah, I thought, because here's the thing, IP, truth be told, the image of the smartest or the classiest black people in the world are black people from the UK. You understand what I'm saying? You guys have the elegant image to you. In America, unfortunately, we're all seen as Pookie and Ray Ray. Even if you went to an Ivy League school, people think that you're a Pookie or you're Ray Ray. You understand what I'm saying? But I forgot to ask you this one day, IP. I was going to ask you something. I know some of the brothers or some of the black people that live in England, they are descendants from the Caribbeans or the Africans, like Nigerians or Jamaicans. But is there an original black English population there? Like, because in America, some of us, I was born in Ghana, but I was raised here. And, some brothers were, Conrad Grant is from, he was born in Jamaica, but he was raised here in America. Do you understand what I'm saying? But you have original black people like Tony Berry. Tony Berry he's an original black person. He's a native black American. Do you understand what I'm saying? So do they have native black English people there? Like native black English people in the UK?
Very small. So I think that because UK they were quite big, of course, in the slave trade, and especially within the area of Liverpool. So if you were to find, native black people, it'd be from Liverpool, some parts of London, those two. But most black people from the UK came from the Caribbean during the 60s and 70s, the Windrush era, and Africans as well came through during the immigration era in the 80s. So most of them came from that space, bro. But yeah, it's pretty bad over here. 0%.
Oh, wow. How many? Can you tell me? IP. That's very interesting. I never knew that. You would have to you would actually have to tell us more about your culture, IP, because most of us
Yeah,
don't
I
really
think
know
so
anything
too.
about the UK. Yeah, like I never knew. So let me ask you something, IP. Let's say could you give us a specific number about about the thing about the what is a specific number when it comes to the original Black UK? How many? What's the population, like 1.2, maybe 3? What is that?
If
I
I
think
Google
it's
it right now,
yeah, it's very small. So it
yeah.
must be like 1%, 1.2, no, it's not 2% in the whole of the UK. But we're all
Wow.
most Black people are live in London, in the UK. But yeah, it's very small. Not as much as African Americans in
Or
Yeah.
America.
Brazil.
In America
Or
or Brazil,
Brazil.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's coming
Because
in at 3%,
technically,
brothers.
yeah. Oh
3%.
wow, 3%. Wow, that's pretty rough. I never knew that
Mm.
because I've never really met a or seen anytime in America. Anytime you ever think of a Black UK person, you automatically just think that they're descendants of the Caribbean or Nigerians or something, or Ghanaians or something like that just move into the UK. But I remember one time my boy told me, he said that they are original Black English people, like original from the UK, that they're not really Caribbeans or Africans. They're just directly from the English Empire themselves. So I was like, wow,
Mm.
that's pretty interesting. But yeah, I never knew that. So it's a small amount then. It's a small percent. Have you ever met some of them before?
Hold on, brother. Let me read the super chat real quick. Shout
Okay.
out to Iron Hide for the $4.99 super chat. He says stuff like this isn't taught in school. Grateful to be around like-minded individuals and learning from men who know what they are doing. Bless up to Aaron Hyde. Thank you for the super chat. So, brothers, I've just posted the link to that Bloomsburg article. It's very upsetting to read it. But let me answer J Bone's question. I don't even know if um, I don't think I've met a native Black English person before. They're very small because most of the slave trade was done in the Caribbeans, especially in the sugar plantations in Jamaica and Barbados, St. Lucia. And once that was over, the slaves all migrated, sorry, to the UK to do menial work back after slavery. So very small, J Bones.
Yeah,
Okay. All right.
I
Thank
was gonna
thank you for
say
that info. Yeah.
I'm in the
Sorry
family
about that, Tony.
research.
Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry, brother. I was gonna say I'm in the family research, and I've been doing this since 13. And I tell you what I've learned about the Black diaspora, man, is this. I got people that I'm related to in England that I never met. And Jay Bones, IP, we might all be related, brothers, because
Mm.
if I go on my ancestry.com and I type in England, and I'll get all these Black people showing up. If I type in Ghana, I get all these Black people showing up because I'm half Nigerian, from what I gathered. I'm part Ghanaian. I'm related to Shaka Zulu, so I know how far I go back. I'm a Shante tribe. I know how far I go back. But what I'm so surprised, and I think we need to do more streams on this, is how are brothers living in other countries, because we know Brazil is more. They got the most Africans off the continent in Brazil. We know
Mm.
that. But what I'm ignorant of is how are blacks living in the UK, in Germany, in say, I know pretty much in Africa how it is, but I don't. I got to learn more about that. I'm just appalled at the numbers today on UK. I really thought the UK
Yeah.
was like the second
Yeah.
where blacks owning property, they having it.
Yeah, Tony. Yeah, Tony. I was
Nah.
surprised, man. IP, you scared me
You
with that.
scared me, man.
Nobody. Yeah, we didn't know that you guys, because the image for smart Black people, the image for elegant Black people is
Mhm.
English Black UK people. So in the back of
Is
my
that
Yes,
mind,
what they
I'm like,
is that
damn.
what they show in America, J Bones?
yes,
Well, yeah. If you let me explain something to you. If you see Idris Elba walking down the
yeah. Idris
street,
Elba.
it's not
Yes,
exactly. Yeah, people tend not to look at him just because handsome guy. Women like him because of the way he talks. They automatically assume that he's very intelligent. So
and
since
he's an
we
intelligent
carry
Brit.
that intelligence to you guys on that term, we often think that you guys are really doing well over there in UK. We often think that Black men and our sisters there, we often think that you guys are like
The
doing
pinnacle.
doing really well. Like you
Well,
guys
Yes.
are really financially off or something like that. I didn't know that until you told me, IP. You guys are broke as hell over there. I
I'm
had no
yeah.
shocked,
idea.
IP. I'm shocked, brother.
There's a lot of gang violence over here. There's a lot of single mother hoods over here in the UK. There's a lot of black on black crime over here in the UK. There's a lot of dropout rates in schools in the UK. To make it even worse, we've got no wealth over here in the UK. Like minorities, Indians dominate, and the whites dominate the wealth here in the UK. I know it's very very upsetting. Like Do you know why I get upset? You know, because when I look at the world, I just see how bad we're doing as a race of people. And it's not our fault. You know, we've been through a lot of slavery in the past 400 years, but even Africa, where we're all from, doesn't matter if you're Black American, Black British, Black Canadian, Africa isn't even doing too good. We've got the Chinese there doing what they want
Yes,
over there.
raping us.
Yeah, you know, completely got the Chinese there in Africa. And then we have like our Black American brothers aren't doing, no, they are doing well, but of course, you know, there's a lot of single mother rates there. There's other factors, black on black crime. There's the dropout school statistics as well. Same in Canada, same in the UK, even Brazil. You know, in Brazil as well, there's a lot of shootings from police officers against black people in Brazil. You know, and in Colombia as well. And you wake up every day, you're thinking, is there not one place on earth where there's just a great African country, like just functioning well, like any other European or Asian country? You know,
I'm sorry, but there's a few that I know of. I know Ghana is Pan-African. Nigeria is actually a rich country. That is basically America. I know South Africa got their problems, but Nigeria used to be a long time the America of Africa, because a lot of people migrated to Nigeria from all over Africa. So in fact, you have the richest woman in the world, black woman, lives in Nigeria. She's a billionaire in Nigeria.
The thing is, right, it's so corrupt in Africa,
Yeah,
especially in Nigeria. It's very corrupt there, extremely corrupt.
Yeah, very corrupt.
When you look at it's
my bad, IP. Go ahead. My bad, IP. Go ahead.
Like Asian people, right? You see a lot of Chinese or South Korean people, Japanese people in America, you know, and that, yeah, of course they were born in America, but you think about it, right? They've still got a home to go to where the economy is doing very, very well. Japan is in the top 5 economies in the entire world. So if you're Japanese American and for some reason you don't like America for some reason, you've got an economy that's great in Asia where you can make a lot of money there, and it's people that look like you. We don't have the opportunity as black people. We can't go to Africa like that because you need to know people. You can't just go there with your credentials and get a job there, because that's not how it works in Africa or the Caribbean. And before you speak, J-Bone, let me just say a super chat from Carbon Nail 01. Oh, $25. Thank you very much for that super chat, Carbon Nail. Much appreciated, bro. He says, at International Passport. To answer his question, yes, there's a brother from the UK that has a YouTube channel on European black royalty, KMZ History and History. In this channel, KMZ History, check him out. Very intelligent man. Okay, will do, brother. But the thing is, right, I don't like hanging on the past too much. You know, I get that we have all these kings and queens, all these powerful people, Shaka Zulu or Mansa Musa. But what about now, and what about the future?
Exactly.
I'm looking at it right. Go on, bro.
Here's the problem with that, Jay Bones. I didn't mean to cut you off, brother, but here's the problem with that: is blacks don't have enough wealth. Blacks are sitting on in America, and this is true. 1/2 of 1% of the wealth is all we have in America. So here's what that means: if there's an incident that blow up in China or blow up in Germany or blow up in Ireland, whites have enough wealth to where they can coerce the Congress into passing a law to send troops to take care of those people in Ireland. You let the same thing happen in Ghana or Liberia, or let a massacre happen in Rwanda, they won't send the people over there. They won't be on board with that because we don't have the wealth to promote our race, to protect our race as a people. We don't have the wealth to do that. And we've been sitting on the same amount of wealth since 1866 when we got free. 1/2 of 1% of the wealth is all blacks own in America.
I think I read that by 2045, black American wealth will drop to 0 or something like
that. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much, IP. You read that 100% right. And the problem with the problem back home in Ghana and Nigeria is, like, we do have a lot of resources. And, the richest black woman in society in all the world is a Nigerian woman. But the thing about it is that the difference, IP, is like, that's what you said. Most Indians here, they help each other out. So if one Indian is not succeed, no Indian looks at another Indian and said, something, you broke and I'm rich and we live in New York. No, he's going to help him. He's going to help. This is how I see even the Chinese people. They help each other because you are an example of me. I can't have you walking outside looking raggedy. I can't have you walking outside. Yeah, they help each other. But the problem with us as Africans back home, like Nigeria and Ghana, it's like, yo, I bought a Mercedes and you're taking a taxi. And when I see you in the street, I'm going to hit this puddle of water and get you dirty and I'm going to laugh at you. You understand what I'm saying? We have that disgusting mindset not to help each other out. You understand what I'm saying? Like, so once we start doing that, IP, hopefully we start doing it. Hopefully, it gets done. But right now, it really is not looking good. It's not looking good at all. Yeah.
Can I chime in on that really quick?
Okay, really quick. I want to go on to Scott Caesar afterwards. Very quick, JC.
Yes, I just wanted to say that here's the sad truth. Unless we take matters into our own hands, things will not change for the best and it will only get worse. Now, I want to talk quickly about the history of Haiti, and just to show you how, although it was 200 years ago, it's kind of like the same pattern repeating itself over again. Us Asian were slave for 300, 400 years, and then there was a time that we had no wealth in the country, right? But things only started to change until enough of the slaves said that, hey, we're tired of this. We want a revolution. We would rather die on our feet fighting instead of dying on our knees begging. So until that point happened, we were still slave. But then once that point happened, there was no leader. And then the leader rose up, and that was Toussaint Louverture. You spoke of him the other day, J Bones. So, and then one leader with a futuristic vision for the country was able to unify the entire country. L'union fait la force, and that's how they overcame supremacy and controlled the country. So, moving on modern days, we need the same thing. We need enough black people say that enough of this. We need part of our wealth as well. And then a leader will rise up, will unify black people from all over the world, and then will also guide them towards building a wealth, taking control. And this can happen with cryptocurrency because that's how we can control our own wealth. But anyway, I don't want to go too deep on that. I'll pass it along to someone else.
Thanks, Let me touch on that very quickly. Very true. Black people need to fight back financially. So we live in a world where it's not where it was back in the day where we had to fight wars, all that stuff. Everything is done through money. Money is the biggest commodity in this world. So black people need to start fighting back financially. That's spending amongst each other, supporting each other, opening businesses in our neighborhoods, moving together as a community instead of being individuals. Let me bring in Scott Caesar. What's up, brother?
What's up, Scott?
How you doing, Scott?
Scott, you over there, bro?
Scott, we can't hear you, Scott. But in the meantime, I'm going to bring in Wall Street Jay. He was after you.
Yeah, Wall Street.
Can you there, Scott? Don't know what happened to Scott there. What's up, Wall Street Jay?
What's going on, IP? I just came back from the DR a couple weeks ago, and I just saw the message, and I'm a finance major, and I plan to go to graduate school in economics and finance, and I just think the conversation is pretty much needed. I think that, for the most part, black people have been taboo towards the topic of finance due to the fact that we didn't want to confront the idea that we have limited resources. And clearly our grandparents worked with less, but at the same time they made it work. And, they weren't able to have the access to the information that we have today due to technology. And for that reason, I think that we should, like in all circumstances, take advantage of the situation, whether it be technology, whether it be stocks or bonds or real estate or stuff like that. Because when we think about it, economic power is, the key to gaining more ground politically and, in territories as well. When you really look at history and things like that, England started out just being merchants before they even bought, before they even conquered lands. The same thing with the Dutch. They had ideas of nationalized debt, which they were used to expand and conquer in various parts of the world financially. And that's why when you look at places like China, they owned Hong Kong until 1997. That's basically the New York of the Asian world, financially speaking.
Yeah, good point, Wall Street J. Very happy to see you're a young man with a finance major. That's why I want to see more young black men going into finance because again, money runs this world. Finance is the biggest commodity in this world, and we definitely need more voices like you, Wall Street J.
Yeah.
Wall Street J, reach out to me on IG. Let's set up a stream regarding finance because I want young brothers to see you as a great example. But carry on, bro. Sorry.
Beautiful example of young brothers, man. Beautiful example, brother.
Yeah. And,
Yeah.
Also, my name is Joshua Roy. I'm the CEO of Roy Empire Investments, where I conduct my own investments. I'm currently managing $30,000 in assets.
I love it. Love it. Woo-hoo.
Yeah, shout out Wall Street J, man. Long time no see, Wall Street J.
Wall Street J.
Powernomics, baby.
Wall Street J. Get in touch with me on IG, bro. Let's get you out there. Let's get your business out there. I want to see a lot of brothers see you as a great example. Okay, bro?
All right, no problem.
Okay, bro.
Yeah,
I
wanted to point out something. It has to be a natural reaction when you see certain things as far as when it comes to money. Shout out to the brother Tony Barry. I see he just put up the Powernomics book written by Dr. Claude Anderson. Dr. Claude Anderson is one of the black geniuses within America. You know, so Tony, if you get a chance, put up the book again so a gentleman can grab it and start learning. Because it's called Powernomics. It's by Dr.
I'm well
Claude
aware
Anderson.
of Dr. Claude Anderson. You know, I'm well aware of him.
Yeah, he's real dope. He's the one that started off the conversations for reparations like 1970. You know, he's been
the one that they always run away from. Yep.
Yeah, that brother's been through a lot. He used to work side by side with Strom Thurmond, who used to be one of the leaders in the Ku Klux Klan, and he used to give him hell. He used to give him hell. He was a brother that used to help out Malcolm X. He used to help out Dr. King. You know, he was one of he's still alive actually. He's still alive, and you can check him out
on YouTube.
Yeah, he does videos. Yeah, he does videos at Dr. Boyce Watkins. But yeah, check it out, man. It's a really good book. It's called Powernomics by Dr. Claude Anderson.
Get the Black Labor, White Wealth too. Black Labor, White Wealth, another.
Yeah, Black Labor, White Wealth. Yeah, it's pretty good, man.
All right, thanks for that, J Bones. Let me go to Scott Caesar. Scott, are you there, brother?
Can you hear me now?
Loud and clear, brother. How you doing?
Okay, great. Good. How are you guys doing?
Good, brother.
Not too bad, bro.
Okay, so just in regards to the topic, I think it's good that we have platforms like this where, you know, we can all get together and communicate, because I think a big issue that we have for those of us in the West, we go away and we're able to get like the better education, but we're a lot more fractured. So we have like cultural issues on both sides of the ocean, where it's like, it seems like a lot of people on the continent still aren't ready to embrace futurism and challenge some of their traditions. And, you know, a lot of us in the West, you know, we get so focused on just kind of that crabs in a barrel mentality because it's been like that for so long. I even see it here with tensions between like the quote unquote native blacks, and then you have the Caribbeans and then Africans coming in. It just never made any sense to me because, you know, part of my family's from Barbados and then the other half of my family's from the States. And there shouldn't be any reason why we can't come together under the banner of excellence. I mean, that's what it has to be. We can't just, you know, as much as, you know, we might idolize something like Pan-Africanism, there's a reason why it hasn't worked. And everybody can get behind excellence. Everybody can get behind being the best. So I think that's what we should strive towards. Like, we should be trying to have a colony on the moon or a colony on Mars, the same way Elon Musk or, you know, before that, the U.S. government and the Russian government was trying to do such things. Like, we need to be like leading the way. And it starts with us networking and building partnerships. That's how we keep the wealth in the community. And that's how, you know, we move forward and get back on top where we're supposed to be.
Yeah, what we got to do, brothers, like Scott said, man, first of all, brothers got to choose the right mates. We got to choose the right women to be with us, because the BWs are not going to help us out with this. Sadly to say, they're not. We need to be able to go out and choose the right mates. That way, once we get control, we'll get control of our communities because we'll have control of our families. We will never get control of our communities. You will never get
Tokyo,
rich. You will never obtain wealth.
You just hit it, Tokyo. Family
Thanks,
is the
brother.
foundation of all wealth. That is true.
Yes,
Yeah.
because generational wealth, brothers. Look at this. We don't pass down generational wealth. Whites pass down an average of $150,000 generational wealth. We don't pass hardly any generational wealth down. So
Yeah,
we can't
that's
grow
like
as a people.
yeah, that's the biggest decision that any man will do in their life is to
Okay, let me go to food for thoughts. How you doing, brother?
What's up, brother?
Sorry. Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
All right. So if there's noise in the background, I am sorry. I am leaving a bar, and I'm walking home. So sorry, guys. But I wanted to talk. Man, listening to you guys, man, really, really inspires me to speak. And when I say speak, I mean like talk about how to amass wealth. I want to talk about. I'm 35. I want to talk about before I hit 20 years old. Before I hit 20 years old, I was able to save up enough money, about $10,000. And when I saved it up, I remember how easy it was for me to spend it. I remember how long it took me to amount it and how fast it went out of my hand. And then little after 20 years old, like 22, 23, 24, something like that, I end up saving the same amount again. And the same thing happened. So I told myself, anytime I save enough capital, I'm going to do something responsible with it. I am not going to just let it blow out of my hand. So by the time I hit 35 years old, I end up buying 2 multifamily units in Orlando, Florida. My multifamily units right now, the moment you buy, so what I started doing is researching how to amount wealth. And I'm literally reading every single document I can find. And I'm a finance major also too. So I started reading every single document I could find, and everywhere they would direct you towards real estate. And one of the things my mom is from the Caribbean. One of the things I realized my mom did being from the Caribbean is she, in the little home she purchased, she added an additional unit, and she was able to make rent money off of that additional unit. I told myself, what if I bought those real estate and I did the same thing? And that is exactly what I did. So now I have 2 multifamily units. I made one of them, I turned one of them into a 4-plex, and I turned the other one into a triplex. And those vehicles, the moment I did that, equity went up. So that means now I have equity power. I just have equity power. I'll leave it as that. And then I'm getting money every single month. After listening to your channel, I told myself there's no way I'm going to continue and just be working for someone without me just traveling the world and figuring myself out. And that is what I'm working for. Now I know once I get to my 3rd unit, it's going to be a choice if I want to work for somebody.
This is beautiful, brother. This is beautiful. This
yeah,
is what
man.
we need,
Yeah,
brother.
yeah. Shout out to that bro, man. Shout out to you, big bro.
That's beautiful.
Thank you, man.
Much respect.
And that's why
I
we up
appreciate
here,
it,
man. This platform is to save the world.
Now I want to say this to you guys, man. I really, really appreciate your channel because it forces Black men to just be a little vulnerable and not hold this weight that at least for me in America, that America pushed down upon us. And this past year, couple of years, I realized something, that Black women just really don't understand us. They don't care about us, essentially, because they don't care that we are hurting. And I like the fact that you extended your arm and say, hey, I'm experiencing hurt. Let's talk about it. Let's figure it out. And I appreciate you for that. So if anybody want to know anything about real estate, and especially in the States, shoot me a holler and I got you. I will help you as much as I can, and I appreciate your channel, man.
Thank you, bro. Are you in the Facebook group? Food for thought.
Yep. I'm in the Facebook group.
Gotta get in the group.
And I also, yeah. I don't really speak much. I just watch what you guys say, and I watch the videos, and I get inspired, and I just stay in the background, But I just wanted to say something today because you guys was really talking powerful stuff.
Could you please make a post in the Facebook group so we know who you are and we can speak to you about finance stuff since you're a finance manager, if that's okay with you, brother? Okay.
No problem. It will be done.
Oh,
Thank you very much.
IP, may I add
Thanks,
something?
brother.
Bro.
So, when it comes to building wealth, I think that, a lot of black families for over the past couple of decades, they built their houses on sand. And this is essentially speaking about not having any financial game plan and just starting on E. You don't want to start on E. You want to have something in the tank so you can generate income and you're not living to the neck. I think because my grandmother and my grandfather, they lived check to check for well over 10, 15 years. And, they didn't have much, but they were always happy. But that's not the kind of life that you would want to live. You're setting yourself up essentially. And I think that, for brothers that want to get started in the stock market, the most simple thing they could possibly do if they don't know what they're doing is to buy an S&P 500 index fund and forget about it.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying.
And forget about it.
Yes.
You will beat the market. You will beat the market, and in the long run, you'll average at least 9 to 10%.
What was I saying, brothers?
Hey, Wall Street J. Hey, I love
this guy, man.
I love seeing young brothers drop that intel, man. And unfortunately, the media won't give a platform. They won't give a brother like Wall Street J a platform. It'd have to be a rapper. It'd have to be a baby mama maker. It'd have to be a thug. But this brother here is very intelligent. Where's brothers like this in the media? Again, the media is an agent towards brothers. Sorry, bro. Go on, bro.
And I saw your last video. I'm sorry not to get off topic, but it was saying, being vulnerable and, the regrets you have as a black man. And, when I was younger, seeing what was around me, because, I was a pretty intelligent person. Like, I knew I was different. And my family and many other people in my community would shun me because I was different. And I questioned my own existence. And I never wondered if I existed, did I matter? What do I exist for? Not really having a father around. And, I want to share with black men, something I learned in philosophy class. This guy named Rene Descartes, because he thought about his existence. And he said something that was very powerful. And I think that if black men understood it, they could possibly change their lives. I think, therefore I am.
Yep, there you go.
Yes, bro. Thank you.
Yep.
We need to have you. Oh, carry on, Wall Street J. Carry on, bro.
And you matter. And just because, a lot of times, you start off having no friends, IP. And that's why black men are so introverted. You're in the war by yourself. And then, you gather comrades over time, but you can't have everyone on,
No. And like I said, brothers are scared to talk about finances, and because they grew up on that, like I said, financial female for simp class program. They just don't want to talk about finances. Now we up here on this platform talking about finances. We don't need the rest of these brothers. We ourselves can save the whole black race on this planet. What do we need these people for? Either you're on board or you're not on board. That's the way it got to roll. It's got to be like that.
Fellas, can I say something?
Hold on real quick, bro. Shout out to Suo 1987 for the $2 super chat. He says, great stream, IP. Thank you, Tony, for your time. Thank you, Suo, for the super chat. And of course, thank you, Tony, for your time. Carry on, food for thought.
Okay. I heard this in this live, and I also heard it from your last live, your live from last night. I gotta say, man, I kind of disagree with the whole friend things, and you guys mentioned. All right, I think as black men, what we need to do is make more male black friends, and there's nothing wrong with that. You need to. One of the things that helped me get to where I was at, from my job, from like just this wealth development, from investment, from finance, from people just literally looking out for me. It was friends that I've made over the years. Now, I believe you should make as much friends you can make. as much associates you can make. And then through you making as much associates, you can pick and choose who you're going to keep in your life. And then these people you want to create a real bond with. Some of the friends I grew up with, I've known for more years than I haven't known. I'm 35. I've known these guys since I was 8, 9 years old. And these guys, I can't say, I don't know where I would be without them. I know how much it plays a role. So that's why I really, really appreciate what you have here. You know, there's nothing wrong with creating friendship. You just want to pick and choose. You really want to be picky. And I'm going to give you an example. I remember hearing one of my friends use a big word. And what word was it? He said, I can't remember the word, but he used a big word. And once he did that, I told myself, like, how did he know this? Like, how did he know this word? I need to teach myself. I need to make sure that I can say the same thing. And through him just using that big word, that changed me to do the same thing.
Okay. Yeah, bro, I agree. But don't put yourself on mute. Someone's internationally. Before. Yeah, so what I'm saying is that you do need, don't just have black male friends, because let me tell you, in this world, especially in the West, in America and the UK, black men do not hold the power. Other races of men do, and that's a sad reality of life. And predominantly it's white men. So you need to expand your circle of networks. We had Jay Bones here tell us that his Jewish girlfriend was one who introduced him to different aspects of finance and how to do businesses. She's not black. She's a white Jewish woman. And then there's a brother called Donovan Kirk, a former college basketball player. Again, he is doing very well with his business because he had a network that I'm assuming wasn't black, and they helped him out with his business. So you can't just, it's not just a black thing. I find that a lot of brothers are just black. You need to expand your mindset and associate with people that are different from you, especially race-wise, because black men just don't hold the power. We don't hold the networks. Black men don't have the big networks like white men do, especially in these areas of business and finance. I know white dudes that have no degree, nothing, but they're earning a lot of money because guess what? They have a network. Can you imagine a black man having no degree earning 90K a year? That's impossible. So it's very important to expand your networks amongst different races of people, because guess what, brothers? Not every race, not every single person in every race is a bad person. There are good and bad people in every race. That's how I go about life, and then judge that person by the individuals. But go on, JC. Well, if you want to say something, bro.
Yes, thank you. I wanted to chime in exactly on what you said. I couldn't agree with you more. Food for thoughts. I'm 35 as well, and exactly, I would say it's not about just black friend. It could also be your own parents, because your parents are doing the best that they believe can save you because they love you, but they don't necessarily know in terms of the financial wealth how to accumulate it. Otherwise, they would have done it already. So sometimes, like my own parents, they were real estate investors in Haiti. But one thing they made sure to do, they made sure to tell me, make sure you go get a diploma, go to school, get a job. Even though they were making their own money in real estate investment, because they grew up in a country that was very unstable, and they didn't like the fact that it was so unstable. So they're like, you get a job. Now, I spent my entire life becoming an engineer, and then I'm trying to get wealthy. I wanted to be wealthy very young, but I'm realizing that I'm stuck behind a desk. My salary is capped, and I can't get the wealth that I wanted. So I started looking for all sorts of information online. The first thing I did is realizing how I consume information. And I noticed that I consume information very well via audio and video. So that's the thing. And then I start absorbing as much content as possible until that led me into a Jewish mentor. My first mentor was Jewish, and my second mentor was Japanese. Both of them were real estate investors. And my Jewish mentor taught me something that I will never forget for the rest of my life. He showed me why Jewish people are wealthy. It's the way that they organize their community, their structure, their finance. For every $1 a Jewish man make, they multiply that by 100. For every $1 white people make, they multiply that by 10. Us in a black community, for every $1 we make, we basically get we get $10 in debt. And that's the difference. And once I realized that, this automatically changed my mindset. And going back to what Wall Street J, by the way, shout out to you, man. You're a very good brother. And I wish when I was your age, I had all this knowledge. You said something very important. You brought Rene Descartes. I think, therefore I am. That's when I started changing my thoughts. It's funny that you said, one of the person on the panel said, why can't we aspire to be an astronaut? This is exactly the thought that went into my mind. Why can't a black nation build their own rockets and go to the moon? That's exactly what I saw. And I'm like, I want to build my wealth and inspire the community in any way I can. And then you're not going to learn that from people that haven't done it. You have to learn it from someone who's already been doing it for a century. And that's going back to Jay Bones. Yes, my first mentor was Jewish. My second mentor was Japanese. And these guys they built a lot of wealth in very short amount of time, and they were willing to teach us that because they know that we were not going to get that anywhere else. And my Jewish mentor was actually feeling bad and feeling remorseful in a way. So he's actually taught me for free out of remorse. He's like, man, I feel bad that I have all this and I can't share it with the people that need it the most. So he saw my ambition, and he normally charged $20,000 for mentorship, and he taught me for free. So again, I agree with your points, and you can keep friends and you can share your knowledge with your friends, but you go find your mentors that's willing to teach you. And all people have so much to teach. And with that said, I'll pass it along to someone else.
Thank you for
Can
that.
Can I say one thing, man?
Yes, you can, Mr. International. Before you do, brothers, please get the likes up, and please feel free to super chat or cash app if you're enjoying this live stream. Carry on, Mr. International.
All right. This is for food for thought, and this everybody in here. This is the platform where we will develop as Black men. This is the platform where we will change the perception of Black men. This is the platform where we will start doing those things like becoming astronauts and building rockets. Like IP said earlier, being kind of not trying to be like Elon Musk, but inspiring and having goals that break the boundaries. You know, we gotta change the perspective of the Black men around the world, and I feel like this is the platform for that. Because if you look at the panel right now, look at all the people in this panel, man. If we was all together in real life, man, we might all get arrested for treason or something. Because no, this is the truth, man. This is the truth. We'll get arrested because they're like, man, why are these guys together? Are they about to make a mafia or are they about to fight against the government? These are smart men. Too many smart Black men around each other. We gotta regulate these guys, and it's the truth, man.
Yeah, here's the thing, Mr.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say is that what you're saying is true, and that's why I was thinking that before. And my advice, if we were really going to mobilize and become a force, we'd have to move like the mafia. And I say like the mafia, not in like the bad sense where we do, dangerous and criminal activities, but in the sense that the United States didn't know it existed for well over 50 years before it was already too big to be eliminated. And if we move like that, move in silence, and we just get the mission done and accomplish and build things, by the time we come out of the shadows and we say checkmate, it's too late.
I agree with this brother because a lot of BWs, they talk a lot of game. They talk the big game. But brothers, I was thinking about this earlier, about 20 minutes ago when Wall Street got up here. We should be silent about our movements, right? Then all of a sudden they turn around. We got black men married to women from overseas, raising beautiful families with big income, with big profits. And then they're like, whoa, what happened to the $43,000 a year average black family household income, right? It's $39,000 in the UK. I just put the numbers up. $39,000 in the UK. I factored it in. The UK black family makes $600 less than $600. I mean, 600 pounds a week. That's less than $800 a week. $800. That's banana money. That is banana money.
All right,
hold on. What's up?
Yeah, just because, like I was saying, I just wanted to finish my topic. It's like Black Ambassador, you know what I mean? Oh, well, obstacles and opportunities. He's in Tel Aviv doing real estate, and, you were saying y'all want to set up a live stream about real estate overseas. We already got things in motion, man. And what I'm saying is, yeah, I'm a big fan of the mafia. My favorite mobster, his name is Joe Bonanno. And also Carlos Gambino. He never went to jail, Carlos Gambino, because whenever they try to wire his house or tap his house, they wouldn't get anything because he didn't talk. He sent hand signals and head nods for the hit that he did. So what more the reason why I'm saying this stuff is, yes, this platform right here, we don't gotta be flashy. IP, your platform is growing every single day, and trust me, this is international. Like the buddy said last stream when he went overseas and they knew about you, IP. This is already international, but our personalities are so low key. That's what makes us like the mafia and moving under the radar, like Wall Street J is saying. We have to focus on the people that are in this group because we are the minority of the black people, the smart ones and the ones that want to change the perspective.
Yes,
I want to quickly.
I just want to chime in also.
Guys, I want to.
Hold on, real quick. Sorry, brother. Everyone put themselves on mute, real quick. Sorry, background noise. Question for you, Jay Bones. I think you mentioned that your brother retired at 33, 34. How did he retire that early? Was it through the stock market? Was it through a business? Jay?
He did exactly what I was trying to explain to people like Aaron B in the chat. He started when he was at Notre Dame. He started linking up with people from different sectors of cultures. He used to travel. My brother used to live over there with you guys. He used to live in Birmingham over there in England. Yeah, he used to live over there. Yeah, he came to Birmingham. He joined the Air Force when he was at Notre Dame. And he started traveling. So he started traveling and kind of connecting. My brother, I don't know what language I know he speaks French, Portuguese. He speaks a little bit of Japanese. What helped him out was after a couple of years, he would start going around and linking up with like different people from different cultures. He's very friendly with everybody. We were born in Ghana, but my brother actually speaks Creole. Like he literally speaks Creole, like JP Miscardi and JC on the panel. He used to just go around and start learning things. Once you go into other people's cultures and you start retrieving information, things just become a lot easier for you. What helped him is that when he graduated Notre Dame, he went to Senegal, Senegal back home in Africa. And I'm not going to give out too much information away because he still works with them, but he's a corporate controller for pretty much one of the biggest companies in the world, one of the biggest insurance companies in the world. And what happened is that often, even though you're working for the man, you're always, until we figure out what we're doing in life, we will be working for white men. That's how things just generally are. So they needed to expand into Africa, but they needed an African person because to get it in good with somebody else's community, you got to use somebody that looks like the other community. The best way for Christopher Columbus to navigate America, he went and found an Indian person. So whenever he went somewhere, he would be like, "Oh, I'm good. I got a Native American right here with me." So I'm not a bad person, but they didn't know what he was planning. So the idea for it is, the idea for it is that they were looking, my brother's corporate controller team, they were looking for somebody to set up shop in Senegal. So they kept on asking him questions like, when did you graduate Notre Dame? What did you do after Notre Dame? Oh, he went to Stanford. He went to Stanford for a couple of years. And then when they noticed that he can really, really talk, he speaks Spanish, he speaks French, he speaks a little Japanese. I know he speaks some Portuguese too. And I know he speaks Creole. He actually speaks Creole fluently. And he went into Ghana, so he set up shop for them. He was there. I mean, he went into Ghana, set up shop, then he went into Senegal. He was living in Senegal for like almost 4 to 5 years, and he set up shop there. So he helped the company grow. And what he did is, when he was helping the company invest into Senegal as an insurance company, he bought some of the company himself. So he got an early start. Like as soon as the company launched, so probably by the time he was like 32, 33, he had probably a few million in the bank. He was already good to go. And then he just used it to just because what you do back home in Africa, like you just basically purchase a big amount of land that will always be gaining interest. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when someone comes around and they decide to buy the land, you can still keep it. You can still keep it and still charge that person money. Even though the land does not belong to you anymore, you can charge them. So he's going to be living out the rest of his days with money that he worked for and money that he's going to be making from the government that's going to be given to him.
Okay. J Bones, I've heard horror stories of people buying land in Africa, and because they're not in Africa themselves, they're in America or in the UK, and the land is taken away from them, or they're scammed or something. How do you navigate that, J Bones, seeing as you actually buy land as well yourself?
You navigate it by being being smart, but like you navigate it like anyhow. Let me say it the best possible way. Anybody that lives in society is paying a bribe to somebody else. Anybody's paying a bribe. If I walk into Seattle and Tony Berry's in charge, I'm going to pay him a bribe. Do you understand what I'm saying? Everybody pays some sort of a tax. The way that you get things done when you're investing in international real estate, you have to pay somebody there. You have to give somebody some money. And of course, one of the things about it is that if it's a stable country, some African countries are stable. You go to places like Ghana and Senegal, there's not a lot of scams going on like that. So you remind them, hey, you're an American. And then the second part about it too is like you sometimes you can register the land that you buy with the U.S. Embassy. So you can register the land with the U.S. Embassy and let them know, hey, this is my land and I'm an American. So if anything happens, I can actually, if somebody tries to play around, you can actually go to the U.S. Embassy, tell them that you own the land, show them paperwork. They will send in the U.S. military to go handle that situation for you. It's actually happened quite back in 90. I don't know if you guys, we don't have any Africans here on the panel. Back in the late 90s, a lot of people don't remember. There was a situation that happened in Burkina Faso. At the time, my uncle was running a business over there, and some of the rebels got out of hand. So somebody called us in just in time. They send in the U.S. Marines to evacuate us. They, because that's the pleasure of being an American. If you're anywhere in the world and you get into trouble, you can reach out to the U.S. Embassy. They will send in military forces to come and pull you out of that location immediately, because that's why you pay taxes. That's why you pay taxes. Yeah. Except for Afghanistan, yeah. If you're in Afghanistan, then I suggest, if you're in Afghanistan, then I suggest you start eating some fish and chips and just say goodbye. That's pretty much it.
Next one for you, J Bones, is that you said your Jewish girlfriend is looking to retire in her 30s. I know she earns quite a lot within a 6-figure range, but obviously earning that is not enough to retire that early. What's her process? Is it the stock market as well? Is it going to help her retire, or is it her or selling off her land? How is she going to retire that early?
From what I know is that basically she just the money that she was making, she was already investing a whole bunch of money into the stock market when we were probably like freshmen in college. But some people have, they have what's the term? They have some privilege that other people don't. Clearly, being Jewish is an advantage because your parents already set you up. You know, that's the thing that hurts us as black men. When I turned 18, before I turned 18, I got kicked out of the house. You know, like when you turn 18 as a black male in America, I know Mr. International and the brothers here on the panel, they know about that, especially if you're African American. Your parents kick you out. Oh, you get out of my house. You know, you go get a job. All right, you on your own now. But then it's funny because when you see white kids and Jewish kids and Hispanic kids, they can live in their mama's basement for the rest of their life and nobody's gonna bother them. But with us as black men, oh no, you 18, you gotta go. You gotta go find a job. You gotta go this. But she based from what I know and just being around her, just things that she because girls pillow talk. Girls pillow after you done you're on a bed and you finish the job off, they start running their mouth. So she told me before that basically she just dumped up. She takes pretty much a big chunk of 1 year of her salary. She basically put it aside and she just separated it into probably 5,000 here, 10 grand there, 20,000 here, 50,000 there, another 50,000 here, 40,000 there, 30,000 here, 20,000 here. She just dumped it into completely different stocks all put together. And even if one of those stocks fail, the other one is going to hit triple. Do you understand what I'm saying? So she's never going to lose out, and she's just going to use that to basically retire.
Oh, yeah. Carry on. Sorry.
That's the thing I would never do too. I'm not going to kick my kids out when they get 18. That's the thing for me too, because I understand the market, I understand how things are working. Yeah, bro.
It messes up, and it's like that's we start out at the bottom. IP, like we start out completely at the bottom as black men. Like we start out with a handicap. That's the problem. Like we start out with a handicap. Like you're getting really you're getting dismantled even before you're even getting a chance to even jump on certain things. Like I had to fight hard. When I was at Notre Dame. Like even though I was on scholarship, man, I would have to sneak into the cafeteria at night, break into the windows and steal a chicken sandwich real quick and jump off before the alarm came in. Like you're really going through a lot when you're a young black male. Like you're going through a lot, bro. You understand what I'm saying? That's the problem. Yeah, that's the problem, man. And I heard that you guys are not so far away too, IP. I've heard some really horror stories over there about some of the young brothers in the UK. Like I heard that the living is really, really tough. I heard that every penny. I heard that every penny counts over there in the UK. I heard that every single penny counts over there. Yeah, I've been to what's his name before. I remember when I dropped off at Heathrow. This was back in the day. I dropped off at Heathrow, and I was kind of like walking around. I was like, damn, it's a really nice airport. But then I took the taxi. Rolling through central London, South London. I'm like, wow, this is pretty cool, man. And then I went to Birmingham and I was like, oh, wait, hold on. What is this? This looks like Mississippi. I was like, this looks like Mississippi. I said, what is so I looked at what's his name? The taxi driver was a guy from Bangladesh. I told him, I said, yo, bro, turn the car around and go back to the airport because I think I'm in the wrong place. So what the hell is going on around
this must
here?
Be Gibraltar.
I said, what is going? Yo, Tony, I swear to you, I rode into Birmingham. I'm like, oh, ain't no difference between Alabama and this place. I said, hey, turn around real quick, bro. I swear to God, I thought I was back. I thought I was in what do you call it? Some backwoods Nigeria city. I said, what is going on around here? Yeah. Somebody turn this car around real quick, bro. We gotta go. But yeah, I heard IP. I heard that over there in the UK, you brothers are really like every penny counts. I heard that literally every penny counts over there, bro. Yeah,
I put those numbers up here, brother.
It's tough. It's tough here in the UK. It's
really very tough. Very tough. I've heard some real horror stories, bro. Yeah.
Carry on,
numbers up
Tony.
here, bro. I just put the numbers up here on the private chat, and they're about the income. And now I'm looking at this. They're saying 45% of the households in England are making less than $800 a week. That's crazy, man. I gotta find some information on the UK because I'm really curious now. Because I'm still shocked. It almost brought me to tears when you told me that black people don't own any property. They have no way of building wealth in the UK. So
I know.
How are you planning on building wealth yourself? I know you're going to the market, but you got to get to the States, man. Make the money. Because it's a big money cow.
No. IP, listen. What Tony's saying, we don't play around with certain like that. Listen, once you're here, especially with some of these brothers here on a platform, because I'm jumping around 24/7. But if I were you, bro, once you start really being part of our group here, like we're all connecting. You're too smart to be in an environment over there in the UK where you have to work 10 times as hard just to get a job that is probably going to go to some white boy. You understand what I'm saying? If you get a chance, IP, and you're really serious, and you want to make some things happen for you, trust me, I'm pretty sure more than the majority of us here, there's a lot of Americans here on the platform or just basically on your channel. Somebody here is going to advocate for you to come over. Trust me, bro.
Yeah,
you can come live.
You wasting your
you
time
can come.
in UK.
You wasting your time over there, man. You wasting your time. Trust me. And you get here, especially with that accent and that level of intelligence, IP. Trust me. You would have a job and you making 80,000 in less than 2 years, bro.
And own the property.
Yes, thanks for that, bro. Oh, whoa, thank you, man. This is what the platform said. Tony, Jay, thank you for that, man. Thank you, brothers. Appreciate it. I'm looking at America. The salaries there are very high. And I find that if you're an educated black man, doesn't matter where you're from, if you have your degree, you read hard, America will reward you. Example,
That's the thing.
Yeah, Karen, bro.
I'm sorry, brother, let me cut you off. That's what they do. That's what I noticed about America. Once I got rolling in the IT world, they will pay you for what you are worth. They will. I mean, yeah, black men are still making, on average, less than 30% of the white male, but skills set a little bit different. When you're in IT, it's different. It's less than 1% of us are IT, or less than 1% IT is black, but it's slowly moving up there. But still, America does know how to pay people money. I gotta say that they do know how to pay people.
Thanks for that, brothers. Let me read out a super chat from LSM Strength. He's $499. Thank you, brother. Or might be a sister actually. So, how do you guys feel about black women getting their passports and traveling? It's good for them too. Dating and business wise, nope, we don't care. This is not a black woman platform. They can do what they want. In fact, black women have the government by their side, by the sides, and corporations too. Shout out to Goldman Sachs for giving BWs $20 billion just for black women and nothing for black men. So they're good. They're good. So it's all good.
Yeah, we don't really care about none of that, because right now what we need to do is, and I think that for so long, and I think you probably already touched on this, IP, a couple of videos ago, there's so many black men over the decades that have been suffering in silence. And now it's come to the time where as black men, we must wake up and realize what is, and we must stop focusing on what could be to change our situation and get to the promised land.
Yes.
Yes, brother. Yes.
The promised land is in Japan.
For me, I just been to the DR, so that's my first.
DR,
that was my first country, and I already speak Spanish and Portuguese. I'm about to go to Colombia in October, and then I'm going to Jamaica in December, and I'm going to go to Brazil in February.
Okay, when you go to Columbia Wall Street, go with a couple other fellas, brothers, because you got to be accountable for where you at, man. Because Colombia is cool, but Colombia is not safe. Okay, just like I said, just watch your back down there. Never get drunk, no matter what. Just watch your back in Colombia. It's a beautiful place, man. The women are hot, but like I said, just watch your back.
No problem.
All right, fantastic. Wall Street J, love seeing young brothers making moves like that. Get in touch with me on IG. I want to set up a stream with you, brother. Young people need to see your face and see young people, and especially black men, that we can do it. If he can do it as a black man, I can do it as a young black man. So that's fantastic. I'm going to stay on the stream for 10 more minutes. So brothers, call in if you want to. I'll add in new callers. Feel free to support the channel through super chats, cash apps. It's all appreciated. And like the video. And of course, comment on this video once I drop it. Again, I get very little comments on my videos. We've got over 50 people watching. I should be having 50 comments from 50 different people on each of my videos. Brothers, please support me in this journey to push out this movement for other black men that need this. Okay, I'm going to go through everyone in the panel for one last statement. Let me go to Wealth Engineering. What's up, brother? Do you have any last statements?
Yes, it was a great panel. This is definitely going to be an all-time classic on the IP channel. Yes, the first thing I'll start doing after is write comments, for sure. And I wanted to touch back on something Wall Street and Mr. International was saying earlier about the mafia. and the mafia kind of like have this bad connotation, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. And one of the primary key foundation pillar of the mafia, it's family, right? If you notice all the mafia movies, one thing that they're really strong on is family. And you like Wall Street Jay mentioned, is you can't really build wealth if you don't really pass it down to your family. And one of the reason why the Jewish people are so powerful is because they have done over a century, since the early 1900s, all over Europe and the States as well. They have passed down leveraging the insurance system to leveraging life insurance policies, passing it down to their kids, doing it over and over. And by the time you reach the third generation, you have an entire community full of wealth that stay very low key. They stay within themselves. They do their, they move in groups. They do what they have to do. Essentially, they are a mafia. But so
Hey,
in the
careful with those statements, bro. I don't want you to come after my channel. Please keep it very, very subtle. I get what you're saying.
Well, yes, yes. Sorry, and then also I'm saying, and I agree with J Bones as well. And he was saying that yes, sometimes with your international passport, you have to move, and it's the States are a great place. It's definitely the capitalism at its finest. But even in Canada as well, there is opportunities for the government is incentivize Black people to open business. So there is lots of incentive for that. And with your accent, wherever you are in North America, you'll do well, man. So so think about that as well. I definitely encourage this movement. With that said, I want to say thank you to everyone, especially with you, Tony. It was a great stream. J Bones, whenever you speak, we get games. I love what you said about the U.S. Embassy. I'm going to think about that hard because I'm actually looking into real estate in the Caribbean right now. So I might do the same strategy for Canada. And Mr. International, JP, Food for Thoughts, thank you for joining in. Wall Street, I'm looking forward for that stream. So and thank you again, Scott, Sean. Thank you for your inputs. And IP, again, thank you for allowing me to join in.
No problem, brother. Thank you very much for calling in and for that Montreal stream the other day. Shout out to Trent5 for the $2 super chat. He says, appreciate the work. Thank you, bro. Appreciate the super chat from Trent5 and from, hold on, brothers, and from, where is it? And from LSM Strength. I don't think I said thank you to him. Thank you, LSM Strength, and for Trent5 for the super chats. Let me go to Sean M. Do you have any last statements you want to say, brother?
Yeah, I just wanted to come back on. Thanks, IP. Thanks, Mr. Tony. Everybody on the panel. You know, one thing I was thinking about while we were talking about, you know, brotherhood and togetherness, you know, I actually pulled out my ledger because I was doing a few things with my crypto today. You know, I've been in crypto a few years. I don't want to disclose too much information, but you know, anybody who has, you know, a ledger, you know, the cold storage wallet, you look on the back of it, you know, it says virus in numerous, you know, strength in numbers, you know, and it's just great, you know, to have more brothers that are thinking, you know, about togetherness, you know, about, you know, doing something productive, you know, investing, you know, because it's rare that you see that, you know, and it's just, I'm just glad we get to talk about travel, you know, making money, you know, doing something right in the world, you know, because it's, you can really just, you know, get caught up with all this other stuff that's out here, you know, and get off your focus, you know, so it's really, you know, it's really great to see other brothers, you know, on the same path, and I'm glad we're all together, you know. I always look at your channel since I found it, since we started doing the lives, you know, like I was saying, I would work, you know, I'd have my day job. I work, you know, 8 hours in the morning, then I work 10 hours overnight trying to get my bread up, you know, and I would always look at, you know, Friday, Saturday streams, you know, as like therapeutic, you know, because we're always talking about traveling, you know, trying to make some money, figuring out the grind, you know, and hold on one second.
While you do that, Sean, shout out to Conrad Grant for the $2 super chat. A big supporter for the channel. Thank you, Conrad. He says, big shouts out to you, IP. You're a true legend. You're a legend too, brother. I appreciate the support over the last few months, bro. Much appreciated. Are you back, Sean M?
Yeah, my bad. Someone was calling me. But no, you know, like I was saying, it's just like I said, while I was working all those long hours, you know, I'd always look forward to, you know, the Friday and Saturday lives is like kind of like therapeutic just to hear other brothers with the same goals, you know. So, you know, definitely shout out to y'all and just thank you for that. You know, and I'm definitely looking forward to see where we go with everything.
Thank you very much, Sean M. Yeah, I do it for you, brothers. You know, it's 4:30 a.m. in the morning. Really late here, brothers. You know, and I've obviously got my own commitments too. But you know, I understand that brothers need this intel. We need things like this. So even though I don't sleep for too long and I have work right in the morning, literally 4 hours away, I only have 4 hours sleep. But I do it for you, brothers. You know, so it's thank you for the support. The super chats help, the cash apps help, the likes, the comments. I appreciate it. Even though I'm gonna sleep for 4 hours from now and wake up in literally 4 hours, it's all good, brothers. And thank you, Sean M, for the kind words. Scott Caesar, do you have any last words, please? Scott Caesar.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Loud and clear, brother.
Okay, great. Yeah, so I just wanted to sit around say thanks because I saw the time here. Like I'm on the West Coast in the States, so I already knew it was late over there. So I just want to say thank you to UIP and thank you to Mr. Tony for the show. I mean, I just can't emphasize, how important the networking aspect of it is. Like to go back to the show yesterday when we talk about mistakes, like I came out of the hood. I grew up in the Bronx, so I was the first person in my family to ever go to college. So, my standards were pretty low. I just, didn't need to have any baby mamas. And, as long as I graduated from high school, everybody was cool. And even when I got to college, I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't have anybody I could reach out to. So I didn't understand like how important networking was. It doesn't matter how much, the grades are, how good your grades are, if you don't build those relationships to build a career. And I didn't understand how important it was to to try to strive towards liberation, which is self-determination, not just about making a big annual salary, but trying to build wealth. And the most important thing is that we need to have like brothers like Wall Street J, and we need to like support these brothers because I remember when I was a young weird kid as well. I kind of hid a lot of things because I didn't want to be shunned even more than I already was. So it's just important that we have platforms like this where we can encourage and support each other. And just little steps like this leads to us building institutions, and that's what is going to lead towards long-term development, institutions and organizations that impact and solve the problems of Black people throughout the diaspora and throughout the world. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that, Scott. Shout out to Wealth Engineering for the $5 super chat. He says, with your international passport, whether it's for women or career, move where you are treated best. # food for thought. Yes, I agree with that, brother. Thank you again for the super chat. Food for okay. Wall Street J, do you have any last words, brother?
Yeah, so when it comes to this whole travel thing, this is not for the weak. You know what I'm saying? This is only for the smart, intelligent, and thinking Black men. And this is what makes it so powerful, and that we're able to unify so swiftly and arise from the degeneracy. And with that, when the finances are gained, we can't change our morals and principles in order to build a better community for ourselves, and not only for our children, but for our children's children, and to take back what's ours.
Yes, brother.
And there's no fear, there's only power.
Yes, brother. Great closing speech, bro. Again, reach out to me on IG. Let's set up that live stream, brother. You're an intelligent young man, and I hope you become even more successful in the upcoming days, months, years. I want to see you be a millionaire, billionaire, CEO,
that's
IPO
already
on your company. Yeah, carry on, bro.
That's already the plan. I eventually want to do private equity where I want to buy an insurance company and invest the premiums, because insurance companies just essentially invest the premiums that people pay monthly, into corporate bonds, and sometimes they even go into stocks, but not many people go into stocks. But fun fact, Warren Buffett actually compounded his wealth by investing insurance premiums with the investing method that he learns, and which I studied from him as well, because I read over 100 books in finance, and I read over 100 books in finance, ranging from stocks, bonds, real estate, offshore tax havens, the whole thing. And I'm very adept with Warren Buffett's investing methodology, and I've been practicing it myself for 6 years, and I've averaged 50% a year.
Hey, bro, you're gonna do big things, Wall Street Joe. I'm gonna see you on TV one day on CNBC. I'm gonna see you one day. I see the future for you, bro. Just keep away from bad people. Stay focused. You got this, bro. Okay, look after yourself, Wall Street Joe.
IP, I'm gonna be in the shadows helping black men. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna be. I'm not trying to be on the TV. I'm gonna be like you.
I want you to be the Black Warren Buffett. Come on, brother. I need you everywhere. I need you to be an inspiration for young brothers. But shout out to Sean M for the $5 super chat. Shout out to IP, Mr. Tony, the panel, and everyone in the chat. Another classic live. Appreciate the super chat, brother. Thank you, Sean M. You contributed to this live stream as well. Thank you, Wall Street J. Appreciate that, bro.
No problem.
J Bones, do you have any last statements, brother?
Yeah, man. Just thank you to Tony Barry for taking the time out to actually join us. If it ain't Tony, then it's Theo. If it ain't Theo, then it's Tony. And these brothers, I'm pretty sure they have better things to do with their time, and we're lucky to actually be around them. What I said it all the time on my P is like what basically got me into understanding that is going to help us is to see Tony and to see Tony when he first posted that picture on his Facebook with his wife and his son. It's the happiness element. I get it with the traveling thing. I join in on a channel to support, but truth be told, for myself, I've been to so many different countries. I never really put myself in that position to say I want brothers to travel, just to get a chance to look at the world. That's the most important thing. With us, especially as black men, anywhere you go, you'll pick up chicks. You'll pick up chicks at the airport. You'll pick up chicks at the damn train station. You'll pick up chicks everywhere. So the idea for it is that I want you guys to experience the idea of just being happy when you guys travel. That's the most important thing. That's the most important thing, and just gaining a level of happiness. And while you're out there in these countries, man, forget the cell phone. Just do it old school. Take a piece of pen and paper. Write down certain things that you want to learn. You can figure out certain businesses. Certain things that you see when you go into Stockholm, Sweden. I mean, I remember when I was in Portugal, I went to the museum and I was looking around, and I felt so bold. Like I was looking at in some of the museums in the wall in Lisbon, and I was seeing black kings that used to live there in Portugal. They were part of the hierarchy empire, and I was like, damn, it's some brothers that used to run things around here. There's some brothers that used to run back in the 1490s. It was some black men running stuff. You understand what I'm saying, IP? So it's just, it's in our genetics already. It's in our genetics already. And I just want to see, my grandfather used to say something very interesting. He used to say, showing up is half the battle. Showing up is half the battle. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Sometimes you get scared. Sometimes you get scared, but showing up is half the battle. You got to show up. At least you got to show up. You got to take that first step. You got to show up at least. So showing up is half of the battle. And I hope everybody's okay. I hope everybody's keeping well. I hope everybody's keeping strong. And we got to get this thing done. We got to get this thing done the right way. We don't really have a choice. Failure is not really much of an option for us as black men. The world is already built against us. So what are you going to do? You're just going to crumble in the corner? Nah, showing up is half the battle. Showing up is half the battle. Now, I'm going to just leave it there, IP. Thank you so much, man. And shout out to all the brothers, JC, JP Mascardo, Food for Thought. Shout out to Sean M. Shout out to Mr. International. Shout out to all the brothers in here. If I missed anybody, I apologize. And shout out to everybody, man. Thank you so much, IP.
No problem, J Bones. J Bones, you gave great intel as well regarding the what's it called, the embassy stuff
International
as
realist
well.
there.
Yes,
Yeah.
bro. Appreciate it, brother. It's much appreciated, J Bones.
You're welcome.
Let me go on to Mr. International. Do you have any closing statements, brother?
Yeah, I'll just like to say thanks everybody in the stream, International Passport, Tokyo 64, JC, Wealth Engineering, Sean M, Food for Thought, JP Mascotti, J Bones the Legend, and Wall Street J. Long time no see, man. I know you're still in here, man. I just want to say that when you work hard, people that work hard, people that go to school, a little bit earlier in the stream, you said that if you work hard, you will be rewarded. Like you said, brothers in America, when they go to college and stuff, when your efforts that you do, J Bones going to Notre Dame and stuff like that, of course he's going to end out with good results because he worked hard to get there. So working hard gets you there. There's places all around the world. I was watching a video. It was and they was talking about 197 countries. I don't know how many countries are in the world, but I was looking at the lowest. The theme of the stream was living below $1,000 a month in these countries, and you're seeing all these places. What I'm saying is that there's so many opportunities in the world, and when I was thinking in my head earlier, 197 countries. There's no way that all of those countries are A+ running countries, and I just think of it as opportunities. I'm gonna speak about. I'm a big fan of Roman mythology and stuff, and there was an emperor named Aurelian. He went around the countryside, liberating places and expanding the Roman Empire, liberating them. And the reason why he didn't get in a lot of wars on his way, because the people realized, why are we going to fight this guy when we don't even like our dictators via the U.S.? We don't like our dictators. Why would we fight this guy coming when our dictators are the real villains? So what I'm saying is, I feel like we could be liberators. We can, all the countries in Africa, maybe one falls into turmoil and we go into there and change it and make it a real superpower. I just believe that we have a lot of opportunities. Maybe I'm speaking beyond, but if my man's Wall Street J said he wants to be in the shadows. There's Malcolm X and there's Martin Luther King. Those guys got assassinated. But if I had to be a pivotal face, me being 22 years old, like J Bone said, it's hard in America. If I would have to be the pivotal face just to get something done, I pray, God forbid, that I would ever get harmed. I hope I wouldn't, but man, I would be the face, man. I don't mind standing tall and being the face and saying, hey, man, we're gonna go down there. We're gonna go down there with 2021 M16 rifles, and we're gonna liberate this place, man. Even though we're talking strength and stuff, but it's also with brains. The reason why I said the M16, because maybe these guys are still walking around with AK-47s or something, or walking around with yeah, they are. They are. They are watching. These guys are watching. And I just want to say thank you to everybody. And this is bigger than just the West Coast. This is a global change that is going on.
Thank you for that, Mr. International, the legend. Thank you, bro. Let me go on to JP Mascotti.
I paid.
What's that?
I paid before you get. Sorry about that. Before you you move on to JP. We had a brother in the Black Manosphere. He has like a really, really big channel. Before he was up here on your show one time, the brother from Harvard I was telling you about. What's his name? One of his friends on the Black Manosphere's channel. Somebody flagged this channel. If I were you, IP, I know you're kind of new to this, but if we're sharing information about building black men, somebody's standing somewhere hating right now. Do you understand what I'm saying? Somebody's different. No, not your channel.
Okay.
No, not your channel. They flagged one of the Black Manosphere's channel. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah, so your channel is a Black Manospheres channel. You're here giving information to help Black men build. Do you understand what I'm saying? So this is just to let you know, in the future, whenever you get a chance, because I know it takes like probably like 5 or 10 minutes, try to build two different more channels. Have an International Passport 1 channel, an International Passport 2, and an International Passport 3. Just in case somebody does something stupid, you can always go back to the second or third one.
All right, good point there, Jay Bones. I'll work on that ASAP. Thanks for that, brother. Much appreciated. You know, it's crazy what's happening. You know, it's just a lot of haters in this space, but haters will never prevail. Good will always prevail over evil. I know that for a fact. Thank you for that, Jay Bones. Appreciate it, brother. JP Muscati, do you have any closing statements?
First off, I want to thank you, IP. You know, I don't know what happened, but you putting out classic live stream after classic live for the past like week or so, and I think I would say that everyone in this panel is very appreciative because you have built a platform that have allowed us brothers to come together and share our knowledge and just build build a brotherhood. Yes, we build a brotherhood and things like that. And I will foremost, I'm very appreciative of that. I will Jake was talking about international investing. I just remember a few months back, I was watching this channel that was talking about how you invest in.
Hey, you got some 90s, 70s internet, bro. Keep jumping. You got some AOL internet back in the day. AOL, bro. Fix it. Please, brother, fix it. I can't hear nothing, bro. You got some AOL internet. But hey, JP Muscati, I'm sorry, bro. I need to move on very quickly, but I appreciate it, brother. Please. I've got to move on very quickly. I've got work in the morning. So
okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Thank you, bro. Food for thought. What's up, bro? Do you have any last statements? Make it quick, please, brother.
Yes, no problem. I just want to quickly say this. I think when I was so excited to get the thought out, and I used the term Black men, and I was speaking about my personal experience, meaning my friends, and they are Black and Indian, and they played a significant role in my life. And what I was trying to say to the guys in the panel is make friends, make associates, make guy friends. Instead of sipping over women, make male friends. Because I work for Fidelity Investments. Like you were saying, when I about someone not having a degree making $90,000 a year, I had an associate degree in business, and I worked with Fidelity Investment, where over 10,000 people applied for the same job I applied for, and I got in because of a friend. You know, so make friend. It's not a black and white thing. That's not the direction I was trying to head with it. The direction I was trying to head with it is make male friends as much as you can. If you play basketball, make friends. If you game, make friends, because those guys are over. As you get older, those guys are going to play a role that I can't even express.
Thank you for that, brother. Much appreciated. Food for thought. Good to see a new caller on the stream. Thank you, bro. Much appreciated. I'm going to go on to Tony Berry for his closing statements. Tony, take as long as you want. This was your stream. You dropped the intel there, but hold on, Tony. Shout out to Suo1987 for the $2 super chat. He says, IP, save your vids. Bros, we'll need this in 10 years. All my vids are saved. Don't worry, bro. All of it's saved. Trust me, I saved every of my vids. But thank you, bro, for the super chat. Mr. Tony Berry, another classic live stream from you. Bro, before I give you my thanks, please say your closing statements. Take as long as you want, because this is your stream, bro. You are very influential. You're a high value man. So go on, Tony.
Thanks, brother. And I'm going to keep it actually short because I value your time, brother, because I know you got to get up and go to work. All I want to say, brothers, is I enjoy being up here on this platform. I'm always talking numbers. I'm always talking about wealth, always talking about building wealth. Every direction you walk in, should always be about building wealth. The worst person that can draw wealth from you, that can suck up your value, is a BW right now. Right now in our society, that is a problem. And you have to solve that problem by getting your passports and going overseas. The reason why I get up here, brothers, is because of this man right here. This man, and I discovered him in a book that was written by my family, is my second great grandfather, John Berry. He fought in the Civil War. And I'm going to close off with a quote that he says that I put right on here that I got out the book. And this quote, it says, and I'm going to speak just like he would have spoke. Quote, I wasn't afraid to die. I wanted a chance to fight for freedom. I wanted to fight for myself, my mother, my brothers, and all the slaves that had been kidnapped from Africa for 100 years back. This is what my second great grandfather said. That's why he fought as a cannoneer in the Civil War in a few battles, and then he went down to free the slaves all the way down to Texas. That's what I'm made of. That's why I get on this platform. As a black man, when you walk into a job interview and you're trying to get a career started and you see other people around there, this is the way I think. And I see them people sitting around. I'll look them all in their face and say, I don't even know why y'all here. I'm getting this position. Y'all might as well go home right now. If I don't say it, that's in my head. But I did say it one time. I did walk in the interview, and I was determined to get that position. I got it. And I looked at them all in the eye. White people, black, we don't care. I said, y'all might as well get your stuff up and going home because I'm getting this gig. That's the kind of mentality you have to have as a black man in this world, because nobody is helping us but us. Nobody. And we the ones that can save ourselves. We don't need nobody. Don't be hoping. One last thing. Ain't no thing about hoping. You don't hope. It ain't no I hope I'm going to be successful. It's I will be successful. And that's all I got to say, brothers.
Preach. Thank you for that, Tony. Great closing statement, Tony. Again, I want to say my thanks to you, Tony, for taking the time out, almost 4 hours to drop solid intel for brothers. I want to thank every single member of the panel for calling in and giving great intel. And of course, I am going to shout you out individually, everyone, because you all gave great intel. Shout out to Wealth Engineering, Sean M., Food for Thought, JP Muscadi, Mr. International, Jay Bones, and everyone that I missed in the live stream. Thank you very much, brothers. You're all intelligent. And look out for the Discord server. I'm still working on that. We've got a Cash App running. Discord server's coming very soon. Give me more time on that, brothers. Please hit the like button. Please support the channel by commenting on this video once it drops. I want to see many comments for this video because comments will help YouTube push out this video to brothers who need it. In the meantime, brothers, I will see you on my next video, I will be having the lovely Costa Rican woman back on my channel this week. I know you brothers.
Goodness gracious.
I'll be having them back, Costa Rican woman, so that should be great. And we're going from there, brothers. So, brothers, look after yourselves. Peace out.
Brothers. Thanks, IP.
IP, you'll get a comment from me, man. You'll definitely get a comment from me, man. Now I got another phone. You'll get comments every single stream. Watch out. I'm going to keep my word. A man's supposed to keep his word. You'll get a comment from me every single stream.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. All right. Peace out, brothers. Enjoy your evenings. See you, brothers.
See you.